consequences. And we're going to have to get used to that. That is just the way this sport is going to be played moving forward.
I'm going to be surprised if Auburn does not end up in the top 25. I don't know about you guys.
At the end of the year, yeah.
Like, I think their floor is like 7 wins. I think they're probably 8 or 9 wins, which will put them in the top 25.
Our friends at Hemphill bringing you that look from Joel Klatz.
Yeah, make sure you keep that AC, keeping up with this changing weather. 205-229-2090. Trust the name. Birmingham's trust since 1954 for all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys today. Tell them the next round sent you. 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. HempHillServices.com.
All right, so that was Joel Klatz post-spring top 25. You've got a chance to vote as well. We'll leave the voting open through tomorrow as well. If you'd like to be a part of our preseason 40 and 40 countdown as a voter, this is the hard part. You vote. You give me your top 25 teams. So I'm going to go through and we'll pick out at nextroundlive.com, those of you that jump in, we have a certain number in mind that we need. Once we over that, I'll, pare through those and come up with a voting list and let you know. But you can go ahead and be working on your top 25 now. We'll start the 40 and 40 countdown pretty soon. 40 shows that'll take us all the way to SEC Media Days. So we're that close to football conversation every day here on the show. If you'd like to be a voter in our MyBookie 40 and 40 countdown this year, just go to nextroundlive.com. nextroundlive.com. Look for I want to be a voter on the nextroundlive.com. Click it, fill out the information, and hopefully you'll get selected to give me your top 25 in our own preseason top 40 that we do every year. One of my favorite things we do, counting down to the SEC Media Days.
Means we're close, baby.
Means we're close. And then it's SEC Media Days, and then practice starts, and then it's the games.
Talk to me, Jim.
So by mid-May, by May 15-ish.
It's almost football season.
At that point, we have something every day that gets us to football season.
That's right. We're almost there at May 15. That's all we got to do.
May 15th is all we got to do. And until then, the portals in basketball apparently is going to keep us churning, man. Keep us churning. All right, that's the show. Thanks to everybody. Remember, thumbs up, like us, subscribe to us, thumbs up, follow us at Next Round Live on all of our social media platforms. That makes Taylor so happy. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, a live show now on Tuesday. We'll get to some college football stuff in this show, including some reaction to some of the portal news that's happening. Still a handful of guys out there as we get closer and closer to the summer school classes and SEC Media Days coming up. We're talking about SEC Media Days around here a lot. Big game for the Stallions coming up with A.J. McCarron, national championship winning quarterback 2 times, coming back, Alabama quarterback, playing for the visiting team at Protective Stadium this week. And Snoop Dogg's in college football, all that coming up. But let's start with the NBA, because I watched this last night. And, I'm watching both games and different takeaways from both games. But officiating, we talk about officials all the time in all the college sports. These are professional guys in the NBA. And it helped the team that I cheer for, the Knicks, win last night. It helped, me win my bookie bet.
Long time
Knicks fan. My bookie bet with the Knicks.
2 incredible calls against the Pacers last night. Just
with that block foul call.
Oh, the Miles Turner. Well, even before that,
the handball.
The inadvertent, incorrect kickball violation. Indiana at that point, it's a tie game. It's before Vincenzo hits the 3. It's a tie game. They've got you can look at it. They've got a 3-on-1 or a 3-on-2 or a 2-on-1, either or. They're probably going to score. That's a 5-point turnaround.
Yeah.
Just on that. And they admitted to that call. And then you have the offensive call the very next possession on Miles Turner.
Well, you can challenge foul calls in the NBA. How they've got anything. If you can challenge a foul call, how you've got anything that you can't challenge, like a kickball, which is a tough call to make. You can't challenge a kickball call on the court. So,
well, and I think those are easier to call. Like, sometimes the block charge, the offensive foul, look, and they did uphold the offensive foul. It's just one of those that, and I know you disagree with this. You're like, call the game from the first minute to the 48th minute, but they're so lenient when it comes to travel and a lot of different things in the NBA. I think the barely grazing somebody on that offensive foul, I just don't think you make that call on Miles Turner.
Well, Van Gundy basically said you don't call that at any point in the game. He said, his reaction was incredible. He was like, wow, are you kidding me? He goes, you almost never see this called in the league, and you never see it at this point in the game, ever.
Yeah,
because this happens every trip.
It was a great acting job.
Yeah. And that's all what else he said. A lot of great actors in New York.
Yeah, and that was one of them.
That was the bigger play. Watching it right now on ESPN2, because look at the numbers. It's 115 with 52 left.
Yep.
They had a legit 4-on-2, and then you see what happens, man. They hit a deep three, and then the offensive call, and the game was over. And Indiana pretty much, the bench outscored New York 46-3, pretty much controlled the entire game. Jalen Brunson was incredible again. I think they've gotten to the point they're just like, Jalen Brunson's going to get his.
Yeah, well, what's crazy, the Villanova 3, as they're known, they either assisted or scored 109 of the 121 points that the Knicks scored. So these three kids who won the 2016 national championship with Villanova, they basically are the New York Knicks.
Yeah,
it is. They are. Yeah.
Julius Randle is, out for the season. He's been out for a while now. But I'll tell you, man, this Jalen Brunson story, he is now the fourth player in NBA postseason history to go 40-plus in 4 straight games.
And those other guys are pretty good.
Michael Jordan. I know Jerry West has got 6, but there's one other one.
Will Chamberlain.
Maybe.
So, you can't do anything in the world anymore without people looking for a conspiracy angle. And that exists in this game. People are suggesting that the league is in for New York to go as deep in this thing as possible.
But cheering for New York last night, I'm sitting there, and there were a lot of calls earlier in the end of the third quarter, beginning of the fourth quarter, that were turnovers that I thought were fouls left and right. They were knocking Brunson off the ball, and I was like, where's the foul call on that? It didn't look until very late. It looked like they were almost handing it to Indiana to make the series interesting.
So you don't buy into conspiracy theory?
I do. I'm not a conspiracy theory guy, no.
I mean, it exists. People are saying, look, the New York team, whether it's conspiracy theory or not, even if it's a wink and a nod, that the New York team's going to get the calls.
Yeah, look, I think it's impossible to go to the officials and say, hey, look, if it's one or the other, let's lean Knicks.
Yeah.
I think it would get out. People can't keep secrets, and I think that's too massive of a brand. Yeah. I do think, obviously.
And by the way, it's not like the Knicks have won a lot of NBA championships or been in a lot of NBA finals in modern era during conspiracy theories height.
No, but we haven't seen them in a final since '99.
I know. So where's all the conspiracy theories to get them there?
I'll tell you.
Well, I just don't think. The Knicks, when they got there in '99, they were an 8 seed. Look, the NBA would much rather the Knicks get to the finals. I don't think there's any doubt.
Oh, Knicks Celtics in the Eastern Conference Championship would be money.
Yeah, but I think they want the Knicks in the finals.
Yes, I think they want either more Knicks than Celtics, because your West is Oklahoma City, Dallas, Minnesota, and Denver. Not great there. You don't have, what's the appeal? I mean, if you're a hardcore NBA fan, there's some appeal there. But if you're the average fan like me, it's like, all right, it's June. There's nothing else to do. I'm going to tune into the NBA Finals. You want the sexy finals. And you ask, where's the conspiracy? Why has it never been the Knicks? The conspiracy theorists, and I'm not saying I buy into this, are suggesting that because the NBA TV rights are up, that's why New York's going to get all the calls here. And game 1 of this series was the proof to my theory.
Well, I'll tell you what, with the rights being up, the one thing you don't want, and it looks like there's a good chance you might get it, is the T-Wolves in the final.
Exactly.
They're 6-0 in the postseason, and I was on the wrong side of that game last night. I thought the Nuggets would bounce back.
Yeah, me too. Part 2 of my my bookie night last night was I had. When I didn't have my bet in time, so after I won my Knicks, I'm going to go make the bet. Well, they tipped off so quickly, so I have to jump in.
After all the controversy.
Yeah, I had to jump in, and I'm like, Gobert's not even playing, and I'm only giving up a point and a half. Hammer.
That's what's amazing. Rudy Gobert, one of the best defenders in the NBA, a multiple NBA Defense Player of the Year, is out of that game, and they hold Denver to 29 of 83. Jamal Murray goes 3 of 18, and I know you guys saw him throw a heating pad out there. This is going to be a massive story because We remember when Draymond Green cost Golden State up 3-1 that championship.
You think Jamal Murray should get suspended for
He's
throwing
got to get suspended.
for throwing the heating pad?
Absolutely.
You think he'd do it at an official?
It doesn't matter. Just imagine it slid out about middle of the paint. What if Jokic steps on that and blows his knee, or Karl Anthony Towns?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, let me ask you this. If a fan threw that heating pad on the floor, what happens?
Out for
Well,
life.
he'd be ejected. But,
For life.
you
For
know,
life.
Yeah, for
But
life. He never gets to come back.
I know, but I'm not going to watch the fans. I'm going to watch Jamal Murray.
I don't care.
I mean, this is the NBA. I saw them debating this, and I thought it was the dumbest debate I'd ever
Oh,
seen
no.
on
NBA's
Stephen
got-
A's show. They've got to suspend
They've
him
got to suspend him.
for being frustrated throwing a heating pad out.
How immature is that? You're 3 of 18. You're getting your ass whipped, and you're going to throw a heating pad out? They could,
Morgan Wallen threw a chair at police officers and was in jail for 30 minutes.
I remember years ago you defending Bob Knight that the chair throw wasn't that big a deal. You're like, that's so overblown.
He slid it on the floor, and we were playing the Russians, weren't we?
No, it was a Big Ten game.
yeah, it was Indiana Purdue.
Yeah.
Same thing. I hate Purdue.
Yeah, I mean, you were like,
Gotta get
Bob
suspended.
Knight's such an overreaction.
I mean, how
I threw a chair.
you would revoke somebody's a season ticket holder's tickets forever?
Yeah, because he's the fan.
This a worse
This is a
example for
player.
a player doing
Yeah.
that.
This is a player.
It's a
He's
worse.
frustrated with the game.
Well, you can't be frustrated and throw
Fans
crap
get
on the
frustrated?
floor.
I wouldn't suspend him one game.
Oh, look, I don't think it matters. I think probably Denver's like, please suspend him, or we've got an excuse for losing game 3.
They're down 2-0. Wolves beat the Nuggets last night by 26, so Minnesota's up 2-0. The exclamation point on that is both those games were in Denver. So now they go to Minnesota with the Wolves up 2-0. By the way, if you're wondering, maybe Denver's not good at home, well, they were only 33-8 at home this year. Pretty good record there. And Jokic and Jamal, the heat pad thrower, combined for 24 points. They usually score more than 24 each in a game.
And look, Jokic had the 16 and 16. He wasn't himself, but really Jamal Murray, to me, was the story. I mean, just awful last night. Arguably his worst postseason game. 3 for 18 last night. I mean, they were up 8 after 1. The T-Wolves were. They were up 26 at the break. I mean, that was just, the best thing that could have really happened was Jamal Murray to get ejected immediately. Because now, I mean, you were down 26 at half. You get ejected immediately, you're already going to lose that game, and you've got him for Friday night. I don't think you're going to have him Friday night.
So you think he'll be out?
I do.
It's true, isn't it? And I saw Verno say this on social media, that Jamal Murray's never even been an all-star. Like, he was talking about how we used to talk about, was it Paul George, playoff Paul? And they were like, he was like, Jamal Murray's that new guy. He said, you will have NBA fans tune into the playoffs and watch Jamal Murray play in this postseason, and you tell them he's never even been an all-star. And they're like, what? Get out of here. That he's that good in the postseason.
It's hard to believe. I think a lot of it, though, it's an indictment on how good the guards have been in the Western Conference.
But I just looked it up. He has not been an all-star. And that's kind of crazy. When
He wasn't last night.
Yeah, he was not.
He was not.
He was not. Just as soon as everybody starts talking about that, he disappears.
Yeah. So there's the NBA last night. A couple of games tonight: Cleveland, Boston, Dallas, and Oklahoma City. Back with our buddy Charles Barkley and company there on TNT as the Knicks and the T-Wolves get wins last night in their series. There was one more NBA note for you that Victor Wemby got his Rookie of the Year. 99 out of 99 votes for him to be Rookie of the Year. Not surprising. The other guys who have had that happen, Ralph Sampson, David Robinson, Blake Griffin, surprisingly.
Well, he was really good early on.
Damian Lillard and Karl Anthony Towns. He's only the 6th person to be unanimous Rookie of the Year. But if you're wondering what kind of year Wemby had, 9th best Rookie of the Year season ever, according to those that cover the NBA for The Athletic. 9th best rookie season ever. One of these names, I don't know anything about this guy.
Okay.
But Wilt Chamberlain, best rookie season ever.
I know about him.
Oscar Robertson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan. 5th best rookie season ever, Walt Bellamy. Anybody ever heard of Walt Bellamy?
Heard of Walt Bellamy, but not really sure.
All right. Do you have the team over there, Jim?
I don't. It was 1961, I believe. Right. And then you have Larry Bird after that, Magic Johnson, David Robinson, Wemby, and Shaquille O'Neal. So Wemby ahead of Shaq's rookie year. and 9th all-time best rookie year ever.
So when Walt Bellamy won the NBA Rookie of the Year, he was playing for everybody's favorite, the Chicago Packers.
No, the old Chicago Packers.
Yeah, you remember the Chicago Packers, right?
That seems like an oxymoron, doesn't it?
He was the overall number 1 pick by the Chicago Packers. Did they become the Bulls? No, they became the Wizards. The Packers are the team that moved to Washington to become the Bullets.
Who became the Wizards, yeah.
So basically, averaged 21-11, 4 blocks, 4 assists. The guy was completely dominant as a 20-year-old. Just imagine how good he's going to be in the next couple of years. And you wonder, Greg Popovich, a guy that I completely respect. I've never liked him, though. You just wonder if it keeps Popovich around.
Well, he's the 3rd Spur to win unanimous Rookie of the Year.
When the other ones went on to win championships
and
MVPs.
Did a pretty good job there. Daniel says Brandon Miller finished 3rd in that right there. It's always interesting.
Yeah, the NBA, for all those that say, man, the 80s were the glory years, and I think we all agree because that was when we were kind of broken into the NBA and the greatest rival we probably ever seen with players in Magic and Bird. But the players we've got right now that are coming up, from Luka to Anthony Edwards, Jokic, Wemby. I mean, there are some great young players in this league.
I like the 90s, too. The 90s are good.
What do you mean, great young players of the 90s?
I just like the 90s in the NBA. You said 80s. I like the 90s.
Yeah, well, the 90s were just dominated by Jordan.
Jordan years, and Barkley was good in the 90s. And,
I mean, we've got parity now.
We do, but I'm with Dunaway. I enjoyed it more. Maybe it's because I was a kid.
we don't have parity. We have conspiracies. Just listen to Brown over there.
No,
I was just presenting it. I'm not saying I agree
you said
with it.
my conspiracy.
No, I did not.
You did. If we go back and check the tape, I think you
Jim,
said.
I literally said, I'm not saying I believe in this. I'm just presenting what backs up the conspiracy.
Yeah. I thought you said backs up my conspiracy there at one point.
No, I do not believe. I'm not saying I believe in it, but I am saying the conspiracy exists with the TV rights up and with New York being one of the few big market teams left, they're going to get all the calls.
I am a 72-year-old grandmother when it comes to don't tell me my sports is fixed. My grandmother, I tried to tell her wrestling was fixed one time.
Yeah.
And she would not. She loved watching wrestling. And
not fixed, it's scripted.
Yeah.
Now, the next game might have been scripted last night.
She would not have any of it, not any of it. And she would not get mad at me for anything. I could have thrown a heating pad on the court in the middle of a live game, and my grandmother would have defended me on it.
You're not getting suspended?
But if I sat there and tried to talk to her, like my grandfather would wake up, come downstairs, because he'd already be in the rack. He'd come downstairs and Shorty, he called me Shorty. Shorty, don't tell her it's fixed. He'd call me in the other room, don't tell her.
Like, seriously?
Oh, she would get literally mad. It is not fixed.
What about when Alabama lost a national championship?
Oh, no, she did not really watch other sports except wrestling.
Hey, one more point on NBA though. One of the most amazing dunks I've ever seen in a postseason game, Obi Toppin. With trailers on him, fast break takes it through the legs and dunks and such an important game one.
Yeah, it was a big moment in the game too.
I could not believe that, but he executed it.
Who was her favorite wrestler? That's what G. Kerbo was.
I cannot remember what her favorite, but this was before it became what it was in the 80s.
Rick Kaiser, man.
I mean, this would have been early 70s. Yeah. So this would have been local wrestlers.
Could have been Von Erich's dad.
Yeah, I know she hated. I know she hated Tojo Yamamoto. And she hated the damn Yankees.
Yeah.
They were masked guys who were on wrestle at Boutwell Auditorium.
Rockstar, I got some good Great Kaiser stories at that, not Johnny Swim, the Teddy Swims concert I was at. There were some guys there, fans of the show, and they were telling me, I don't know how we got on Great Kaiser, but they were telling me some Great Kaiser stories. Dude's a character.
He'd come into Slice when I was playing in 2010 with his belt.
Oh, yeah. I've seen him out wearing his belt. Yeah.
Our friends at Regions Traditions, we're out there tomorrow. At the weekend really gets going today with some practice rounds out there and a juniors clinic and all that. But tomorrow we're at the Regions Tradition, regionstradition.com. It is the Drummond Company Pro-Am. We will be there broadcasting live just off of the 10th green in the White Claw staging area there, and we'll have our show live from there. And then we'll move to the Coca-Cola broadcast area, and that's where we'll sit back and do some interviews that we'll put on our video platforms at some point. You can get your tickets at regionstradition.com. regionstradition.com. That's happening tomorrow, and then the tournament Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday out there at lovely Greystone. One more thing to get to, and coming up on the show, Clay Travis at 10. Later on, Terrion Arnold, now Detroit Lions superstar rookie, will join us at 11 Central. That starts hour number 3, 12 Eastern, 11 Central, a little bit later on. Rockstar, if you'll give me cut number 2, we're fighting for bowl games, and yesterday we get this announcement from a legendary rapper, Snoop Dogg. This happens yesterday, the naming rights for the Arizona Bowl. Rocky, hit it, man.
I'm taking my talents. That's right. To Arizona. Believe me, Arizona, baby. I'm here to announce the new collaboration, the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. Presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop. The game will be played on December 28th at the University of Arizona Stadium in Tucson, Arizona. I'll be there. Will you be there? Well, guess what? We'll see you there.
The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop.
I'll never forget, like, watching this play out in real time. I heard a discussion yesterday about the greatest albums of the 90s, and I remember when Doggy Style came out after he collaborated with Dre in 1992 for The Chronic, and the waiting list that was out there for Doggy Style, and people could not wait to get that LP. And then after it comes out, he gets indicted on murder charges. And remember, it was like one of his bodyguards and everything got waived. That probably was a conspiracy theory.
Maybe so.
But I never thought from that moment in the 90s to where we are now that Snoop Dogg would be the sole sponsor of a bowl game. And the Arizona Bowl must be somewhat cheap because didn't Barstool have it?
They had it for a couple of years.
Yeah. I laughed at I saw this get announced during the show yesterday, and I just kind of chuckled to myself thinking how much like these old school coaches like Saban and Beamer and people like that have fought to protect the bowl games. Like, the bowl games are super important to us. And then we got a Snoop Dogg Bowl. Yeah, they're super important to us, so much so Snoop Dogg is sponsored.
And it's Gin and Juice.
It's Gin and Juice.
So does Gin and Juice have gin and THC in it?
I don't know if it has a parental warning on it. I saw that. I assume it's just like...
It cusses at you when you open it?
I just believe that... really, G. Curbo says Hardy just released a Gin and Juice cover like 2 weeks ago.
That's all we need, another one of those.
A country version cover of Gin and Juice. If Hardy did it, I would imagine it's pretty darn good, though.
You think?
I like Hardy.
I got it right here, Hardy Gin and Juice, yeah. Hardy's version. 4 minutes, 1 second if you want to hear it one day.
Rockstar's heard my version.
So
pretty good.
Yeah, it's really good. All right. We're off and running today. Our show is brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill. We'll get some other stuff coming up. Tell us about Hemp Hill, LT.
205-229-2090. Had a nice conversation with our buddy Chad at Hemp Hill last night. Just great guys. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew. The guys there, whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Fire damage to your home or business is something you never want to consider. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. But in the horrible event it happens, Dry Tech is here to help. They respond quickly and will reply to you within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They're working for you, the customer, not the insurance company. They've got 5 crews ready to go 24/7. Don't call the insurance company first. Call Dry Tech. Just remember this website, mydrytech.com. That is mydrytech.com.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Back with you on the Next Round. NFL action happening in some voluntary workouts around the league. Pretty big deal yesterday. Joe Burrow, who missed the final 7 games last year, was throwing in camp yesterday for the Bengals. He had surgery on a ligament in his throwing wrist. Maybe a little bit ahead of schedule, but he says he's back cleared to fully working and usually doesn't even start throwing until OTAs. So he's a little ahead of his normal throwing, light tosses, but Joe Burrow working his way back to being ready for the season. You know, he wasn't right. That whole team just never seemed to find its groove last year.
You know, obviously when Burrow plays, they're elite because he's elite. And when he doesn't, they're very average. And, you know, the fear you've got moving forward if you're a Bengals fan, if he's in the lineup, you're in a great spot. But, you know, he misses basically his entire rookie season, basically last year.
Yeah.
And you just wonder, is it going to be more of that or is it going to be more of, you know, the 2 years in between where he takes them deep into the playoffs and even to one Super Bowl?
And the fear too is, you know, you've had a pretty good window right here if you are if you're the Bengals, and how long are you able to keep this whole thing together with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and all those guys that have been so integral to that offense? You know, the way it works in the NFL, you're not able to keep that together forever. Everybody wants their money, and there's a limited amount of money. So I don't know, man. If I'm a Bengals fan, you just feel like you got a limited time right here, you would think. And it's not like they've had a ton of success historically, so there's no guarantee you ever make it back in that window.
Never won a Super Bowl, and they had an opportunity. You know, the Rams on that final, they were up under a minute to go in that game. Got Joe Burrow coming up in 4 downs.
All right, Joe Burrow and 4 downs coming up. Clay Travis is going to be earlier with us, not right here yet.
I just said, can I go earlier than 10? And, I mean, he didn't have much runway here, but we'll figure it out.
Well, I mean, hit him up on the phone, Rockstar, right now, and just see if he answers the phone, and we'll put him on in this segment right here. The show being brought to you by our friends at Hydra Live.
Yeah, IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, all under one roof. Boost your immune system with our friends at Hydra Live Therapy. IV therapy treatments packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, boost your immune system, and much more. Members are rewarded with deep discounts. Save up to 50% off regular pricing for all services. Plus, receive 1 free IV bag per month with impressive savings and benefit members receive. You recoup the IV membership fee in just one visit. They're open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. 2 locations, Highway 119 in Greystone, also the location in Homewood. For more information, HydraLiveTherapy.com. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. Get 20% off.
That guy over in the chat room, I'm just worried Burrow's going to be one of those could-have-been guys. I think he's going to be constantly hurt.
Well, I hope not.
I hope not either. I mean, that has been the trend for him early on. And, I mean, those guys exist. And
So he had this injury. What was his other injury?
The other injury was the ACL.
Yeah.
Rookie
ACL.
season.
Rookie season. Okay.
yeah, he's
I think it was 4 or 5 games in. And I'm trying to think of another example because I think we have got enough of a sample size to say Joe Burrow's an elite quarterback.
Yeah, when healthy.
Yeah. Matt White saying, like Andrew Luck, you guys think Andrew
Little
Luck
bit.
was always
Little bit.
injured?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Andrew Luck basically tapped out. It had nothing to do with injuries. He got just burned out on football.
Yeah. Some people say that he violated his contract. That's why he got, quote unquote, burned out on football because he was snowboarding and he had a no snowboarding clause in his contract, and that's how he got hurt. I don't know if any of that's true, but that has been a long discussion. I guess that's another conspiracy theory. I guess I'm one in each segment now. That was why Andrew Luck walked away.
Rusty, did T. Higgins leave? Is T. Higgins still with the Bengals, or is he already out?
I thought he wanted a new deal.
Yeah, T. Higgins had originally gotten franchised.
Yeah.
And I know he was in search of a new deal.
Yeah, I know
yeah.
Mixon left. He's no longer there as the running back. He's somewhere else.
Yeah. They're trying to, quote unquote, work it out, T. Higgins and the Bengals. But that was my point, is if T. Higgins wants a big deal, you got to, you're paying Joe Burrow, right? That's where you're going to make your investment. And if I got to choose between big money for Jamar Chase or T. Higgins,
Yeah, it's not even close.
there's no decision.
Yeah.
And if T. Higgins wants big money and wants to be paid like a number one, he's probably going to have to do that with another franchise.
Right. I think T. Higgins is one of your top 5 number 2s in the NFL.
Yeah.
But he ain't worth Jamar Chase money.
No, not at all. He's currently on a $21 million franchise tag. $21 million.
That's what I thought.
But Jamar Chase just had his 5th-year option. So, again, you're about to have to choose how we're going to pay these 2 receivers. And that was my point in talking about if you're a Bengals fan, you're worried that you could have missed the window there if you start to lose some of these guys.
Yeah. So Burrow and that group of wide receivers, limited time there in Cincinnati, and they'll see what they're able to do. Rockstar, some interesting shows coming to Netflix. We'll get to those right here. I'm interested to get your thoughts, but first I have to go to Brown because I think he's watched the first 2 seasons, but coming back on May 16th, Season 3 of Bridgerton. Brown, are you excited?
Yes. My wife pointed that out to me the other day that Bridgerton is coming back. What I didn't realize is they change the main character every year. Like, that's a kind of interesting way to do the show, but they've done it. And I didn't like it, after year 1, but year 2 delivered. So I'm wait and see on year 3, but it's kind of a weird way to do it, is where you develop this character, they're the main character, the focus of a season, and then the next season they're like sometimes not even on the show again.
But is
kind of weird to do it that
the
way.
Same other supporting actors?
Yeah, you got a lot of the same actors in there, but
because I was going to say Fargo's done a really good job with having a different storyline each and every season. But that is a little interesting that the lead would be different. I'm surprised you don't watch it, Dunaway.
I watched one episode, did not like it.
Yeah, I tapped out.
Apparently,
did not like it at all.
That is the way the books do it. Obviously, I've never read the books, but apparently each volume of the book is a different member of the family. So the series is following the books. But yeah, I mean, it's something my wife and I enjoy watching together, so I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Then there is a couple of other things that are on Netflix right now, but one of them is on my queue. I have not watched it. I'm interested if anybody or even if it's out yet, because now Netflix puts out, you can see trailers and it's like it's coming May certain dates. But Unfrosted with Jerry Seinfeld, Melissa McCarthy, and Amy Schumer. Has anybody seen that?
No, but
Is it
I
out?
have. No, I don't think it's out yet, but I brought it up, and Lance was
out.
like, you got to be kidding
Yeah.
me. It's the story of the creation of Pop-Tarts.
I got a phone call from our buddy Chris Stewart. He was like, there were 0 laugh out loud moments. He was like, there was a couple of things that were interesting. He was like, it was an all-star cast. He was like, you wouldn't have made it 10 or 15 minutes.
It's Kellogg's versus Post, and it's based on a true story. Both of them were big in cereal. They were trying to get a breakfast pastry that all of America, now on the move, could enjoy quickly.
But it's also written and directed by Jerry Seinfeld, and it's a comedic look. I talked to somebody yesterday. Jay Willoughby called me. He said he watched. He's like, and said the same thing Brown did. Like, I didn't laugh once. He's like, it's just not a good movie. He said it's all-star packed with actors and actresses, but it's not a good movie.
A lot of cameos.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brown.
Charles and Chris both like it in the old chat room.
Yeah, Unfrosted was great. I really like Unfrosted, says Chris there. It is I will watch it at some point because, is it Seinfeld humor, guys?
This one, if it's written and directed by him, I'd assume it is.
Yeah.
What is the deal with putting frosting on it?
Yeah, that is the debate. One, I think Post ended up not putting frosting on their pastry, and Kellogg's, of course, did. Which one?
I remember one time there was unfrosted Pop-Tarts in my pantry, and my kids, I mean, you talk about
Daddy, are we poor?
No, it was
Are we
like
out of money?
comedy hour. It was like, who in the hell buys
Comedy hour.
unfrosted Pop-Tarts? Which is a
That
great
sounds
point.
like Seinfeld.
Yeah.
No,
Who
but
buys?
but this is the difference. Like if Larry David would have created this, I would be all in. Seinfeld, no thank you.
Yeah. That's
Just not my cup of tea.
But that's sort of Larry David's humor, right? Except Larry David's more edgy.
He's just
Larry
a lot
David's
funnier.
more dark, and likes to toe the line, to cross the line. Jerry's more safe and doesn't curse or anything. Larry's all about the cursing.
Yeah.
All about the cursing.
So too was Tom Brady on Netflix. He dropped more F-bombs than he threw
Okay.
touchdown passes in the NFL.
I want to get to this because I don't. This whole thing to me is it's a sham. I watched the entire thing.
A
last
sham.
night.
So
Yeah.
here's Lance's conspiracy. What we got here?
I think what happened is some executive producers went to Tom Brady and they said, "Hey, look, we want to do a roast. We want to do it live on Netflix. Never been done before. We want it to be your roast. We'll let you help us cast this. Just my theory. After watching all 3 hours of it, we're gonna help. We'll let you cast it. We'll be there to support. We will write the entire thing outside of what Jeff Ross and Kevin Hart are doing."
Oh,
It was-
those things. The
I know
blonde
people-
hair girl. The blonde hair girl does her own stuff.
Yeah, no, I know
yeah.
people.
Nikki Glaser?
Is Clay ready? Okay, so I want to get Clay's take on this.
Okay, but they always
No, people paid it for the jokes.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, this was bigger. And Clay, are you there? There we go.
Conspiracy
Yeah.
on the
Okay. So
roast.
Clay, we just got into the Tom Brady roast, and after watching the entire three things, and you know how politically incorrect I am, and I appreciated some of the humor, but it seemed really forced. I think some executive producers went to Tom Brady. You can cast this, or we'll help you cast it. We're going to write the entire thing outside of what Kevin Hart and Jeff Ross are doing, and chicks like Nikki Glaser, the professionals, and. There is no way that many people were that politically incorrect on one special. Impossible.
Well, one, I actually think that's how real people talk. So I think in a locker room, everything that they said would be fair game, right? Like, I don't even think it would make anybody's eyebrows go up. Now, maybe the Giselle jokes would be a little bit out of bounds. Like, I don't know about that, but like the gay jokes, the homophobia, like that is vintage how most athletes talk, even making fun of each other racially, all that stuff I think is 100. I think what we have created is social media has created a completely artificial world that isn't in any way representative of real life. And I was thinking about that as I watched the roast. Any one of those, like if Tom Brady had made that joke about the two jets slamming into Drew Bledsoe, right, in September of 2001, if he made that joke on Twitter, like the whole world would have come undone. You know, people would have been like, "Oh my God, Brady 9/11 joke. We've got it. I mean, he's got to apologize." ESPN probably goes to Adam Schefter to talk about the latest tweet from Tom Brady. I think that we, as a collective whole, got sold over the last decade a load of BS about what the real world was. And, I mean, honestly, Outkick's success is kind of a testament to this, right? Like, how many people in the state of Alabama think dudes should be able to compete against women in women's sports?
Very few. Yeah, very few.
Yeah.
Yeah.
99.9% of Alabamians are against that. I bet there are a bunch of losers who work in sports media that would be in the 0.1%. And so what we created was an artificial worldview where these woke, lunatic, loser sports writers got to define what was and was not appropriate. Now, to your point, LT, I think that most people at roast have professionals who are helping them with jokes.
Yeah.
Because most people aren't professional joke writers or professional joke tellers. And it was all on prompter. So they were getting up and being able to read the jokes in real time. I suspect that Brady actually knew a lot of the jokes in advance, knew what was going to be said. which was why he reacted as he did early on at the massage parlor joke about Robert Kraft, which was actually pretty tame. And you would think, if you paid and got busted for happy endings at a massage parlor and you owned an NFL franchise, I mean, that's one of the most ripe of all jokes to be told, right? Like, I mean, if you're just being honest. There were a lot of Aaron Hernandez jokes that I thought were amazing. I was surprised that they went after Giselle as aggressively as they did. And I thought maybe the most killer, unexpected, really funny line, I mean, there were a bunch, was Brady making fun of Kim Kardashian being terrified to come to the roast because she had to leave her kids at home with their dad.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty aggressive as well. So I loved it. I hope I can't think of anything else in the world of sports that's been like that in the last decade. I hope what it does is sort of expand the overall Overton window, so to speak, of what is considered to be acceptable and makes it more reflective of what the real world is like, as opposed to this sort of cloistered, perpetually grabbing the pearls and fainting on the couch perspective, which has governed much of Twitter. And frankly, I probably benefited off of the fact that certainly I've benefited off the fact that I talk like normal people talk, and people on Twitter talk like fake people talk. And I think there's a desperate craving for authenticity. I think LT could speak to this. Certainly you guys could on some level too. I don't sound much different at a tailgate or on the radio. And I think that's honestly why Outkick has had a lot of success and why our shows have done well, for better or worse. People can hate me if they want, but would you agree with that, LT? I don't really sound that much different if I'm sitting in the stands or at a tailgate than I would talking into a microphone.
I do agree with that. I mean, I think there are some people that come to me and they're like, man, Clay is a dick and he is self-centered and he's, he brags a lot. And I'm like, well, he's really not like that in real life. But yeah, you do cuss and you're very politically incorrect.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't, okay. I think that's fair. I think that's all fair.
Yeah. Do you like that Nikki comedian? I mean, I could sit and watch her roast people.
Glazer.
Nikki Glazer, I could sit and watch her roast people all day long.
I thought it was very funny. And she might be the only person who shows more thighs than you guys do on your videos.
Hilarious. Are you saying our camera shots were wearing shorts are a little too much? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying I didn't know what your inner thighs looked like from radio. I'll give it that much.
Yeah, I'm trying to stay in fashion. Apparently, the 8-inch inseam is what's in style.
Well, you know what's funny? Speaking of that, Dunaway, I bought I didn't do athletic shorts. So I buy pretty much all my clothes at Costco, which is an indictment of me, certainly. But I love Costco, and I end up buying $15 pants all the time, and $8 athletic shorts or whatever. So I bought a bunch of those $8 athletic shorts, and I brought them home, and I was wearing them around, and my wife just said, "Nope, you cannot wear those. They are too short. I'm seeing too much of your thigh." She took them out of our bedroom and gave them to the boys. So I know of which you speak, because sometimes I look up and my teenage boys are walking around and they're basically in what we would have considered the Stockton shorts of the day. They've come back in a big way, but my wife is not a fan of my thighs, so they are not well established here. She took them away from me.
Yeah, I've got some that I bought at the PGA Tour store, and I was telling my wife that sometimes I feel like the balls are hanging down past the inseam. She goes, "Oh, you carry an extra ball in your left pocket?" And I'm like, "No, baby, I'm just getting old." See, that's a joke I just wrote on the air there.
Well done, Jim.
Yeah. See, that was really good. Thank you, Nikki.
Well delivered.
Clay Travis with us, founder of Outkick, at Clay Travis on Twitter. All right, so the other conspiracy we were discussing in the first segment is there's this conspiracy that because the NBA media rights are up for bid right now, that the Knicks are going to get all the calls. And people that want to argue this, they're already like, see, just look at the end of last night's game. The NBA has to have the Knicks go deep in this thing.
I mean, they got everything wrong in that. I watch, especially in the early rounds of the NBA, I like to put it on in the fourth quarter if the game is close. I typically don't watch the first three quarters because it feels like every NBA game, somebody's up 14 or 15 and somebody's down 14 or 15. And like it's just a ebb and flow. Then you get to the fourth quarter and you see whether it's going to be a game or not. Like last night I was like, okay, which I think is actually kind of a fascinating story because Minneapolis has never won anything. And suddenly the Timberwolves are up 2-0 on the defending champ Nuggets, having won 2 on the road. That's probably one of the biggest upsets we've seen in the NBA in a while. But they got everything wrong. And if they didn't have all the challenges, it's like they had a bunch of 50-50 calls and they got all of them wrong throughout the entire process. My conspiracy theory is not that they need the Knicks to win. My conspiracy theory is that Adam Silver went to all the teams and all the coaches and said nothing about politics for this entire season. Think about it. There's been virtually nothing political from Popovich, Kerr, LeBron. I mean, we're into an American presidential election year. You compare this year with 2020, it's like everybody got the memo to shut up and just play basketball. That's my conspiracy theory, that Adam Silver said, look, I'm trying to get as much money as I can. The more political you guys are, the less money everybody gets. And I actually think the most fascinating, and so that's my conspiracy theory. I actually think the most fascinating thing of this is the subplot of Comcast, NBC, basically trying to bankrupt Warner Brothers Discovery over this third package, so-called, that the NBA is putting up for auction. I think, Disney dropped $10 a share out of the break this morning after their earnings came out. This is fascinating because you guys are in a new sort of avant-garde movement of media with the way that you took your show, and certainly we've done a lot of it at Outkick. Do you know that the only streaming company to ever make money is Netflix? Everybody else that's gone into the streaming business, Paramount, Peacock, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, Apple, all of them have lost billions of dollars. Disney has lost $11 billion so far since they started Disney Plus. Netflix is the only company that has ever made a profit off of streaming. I'm talking about major media company in all of America. And they replaced the most lucrative business of all time, the cable and satellite bundle, with this one. And don't even get me started on how awful all of this streaming is for sports fans. My boys are huge Braves fans. We can't get the Braves now in Nashville because of this Comcast ridiculousness. And they know how to pirate feeds. They're smarter than I am, when it comes to finding games and everything else. But the fact that you have to do all this stuff just to be able to watch games, we shouldn't be going backwards in terms of ease of access for fans. And what we're getting, I think, and this is me, maybe old man yelling at the cloud sky, but we're cloud style. We're paying way more for sports and getting way less, which is the exact opposite of what a consumer should get, in my opinion.
Yeah, the Braves thing is crazy. They're constantly.
You called this though back in our radio days. You said that everyone wants to go to this a la carte thing. They want to get. They're upset with the cable bundle, but you said eventually it'll look like a good deal, but then eventually it will cost us more. And
we'll all pay more and get less. That's one that I was right about because you just look at back of the envelope math. By the way, I don't think it adds up very well for SEC football fans. For instance, obviously I'm a huge SEC football fan. ESPN now has every SEC game. I think they're going to be putting them more and more onto streaming. I think there's going to be more and more of an issue with people all over your audience, all over my audience, not being able to get the games that they want, glitches, issues of additional charges. I think SEC fans are going to get screwed over this.
All right, he is Clay Travis, at Clay Travis on Twitter, founder of Outkick. You see him on Fox as well. Thank you very much, Clay. Have a great week.
Hey, appreciate y'all. Thanks a lot.
All right, man. Take care. Clay with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
Woodhouse also brings you the last-minute opportunity to get the best gift possible for Mother's Day.
Yeah, Mother's Day is coming up this weekend. If you've been procrastinating, waiting around the last minute, our friends at Woodhouse Day Spa, they got you taken care of. You can get that gift card online right now. They'll have it shipped to mom. They can ship it to you however you want it. Go to birmingham.woodhousespas.com. You can choose from a menu of over 70 options, including massages, body treatment, skincare, waxing, nail services. The Woodhouse Day Spa, voted America's best day spa since 2009. Again, order Mom's gift right now. Go to birmingham.woodhousespas.com or stop in and see Stuart and that great staff. Summit Shopping Center. Tell them the next round sent you.
Hey, by the way, we're getting ready for the SEC baseball tournament in a few weeks out at the Hoover Met again. Auburn and Missouri right now would not be there if it all started today. They're trying to unseat LSU and Ole Miss. By the way, the trend at the SEC, that's the softball bracket that starts today. Thank you for that, Tyler. You didn't have to throw it down so quickly. I was just going to point that out. Softball bracket. But the baseball, we don't have it set yet. There's softball that goes this week. Oh, down quickly again. We got it. The baseball, though, coming up. What a trend that has happened. Remember when Mississippi State won that championship and then they struggled badly the next year? Then Ole Miss won it, and then they struggled badly. What is LSU? They're barely in Hoover right now coming in. We're winning the national championship, and then the very next year, it's like we're selling our soul for a horrible season the following year. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the draft has a lot to do with that. Obviously, with LSU, Skeens was a really good player, right? And is in the So I don't know. I mean, I don't know the.
I think LSU fans, they like their guy though.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this.
No, you're right.
Usually, like if you win the national championship, you're going to be there for a while, at least good to go ying, and then you're out of Hoover. Boom, you're out of Hoover. Boom, and you're out maybe out of Hoover.
And maybe it's just a testament to this conference. I don't know.
That's what Brody says. SEC baseball might be the toughest league in college sports. Like Auburn is a good baseball team, and they're at the bottom of the standings.
Yeah, not even going to get to Hoover. Yeah. Can't even play in your conference tournament.
And they're a good baseball team. Yeah. That's how tough the SEC is. All right, when we come back, a little bit on the Stallions and A.J. McCarron. What does A.J. McCarron think about coming back and playing in front of a big crowd in Birmingham, Alabama as the visitor? That when we come back, the show being brought to you by our friends at Coca-Cola. We'll be on the Coca-Cola stage after our show tomorrow, recording some stuff for you guys, some interviews with some of the celebrities that are at the Drummond Company Pro-Am. It's part of the Regions Tradition weekend that's going on. You can get your tickets, regionstradition.com, and be out there on the course tomorrow to watch greats like Charles Barkley, Hugh Freeze, Riley Green, and the Alabama group of Nick Saban, Kalen DeBoer, Nate Oates and company. It's all with the Regions Tradition. Our Coca-Cola interviews will be on our platform. Make sure you like and subscribe. But get your tickets right now for regionstradition.com. Back in a moment.
Never miss anything Auburn. Watch Village Vice at Wardam Pods on YouTube and listen wherever you get your podcasts.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the next round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst is back May 12th through 14th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. It is Bama's biggest in-water boat show with more than 100 boats and vehicles on display, vendors and food trucks, live music all weekend long, and it is free public admission. Don't forget the Friday night fireworks show, free Velcro Pygmies concert Saturday, free mimosas for Mom on Mother's Day Sunday, LoganMartinLakeFest.com for more info. It's the annual Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst May 12th through 14th, LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
Back with you on the Next Round show, being brought to you by our friends at Precision Sports. Summer means time for more outdoor activities and more chances for injuries. Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics are here to help you out. Remember the number 205-512-3885 and the website precisionsportsortho.com/2024. Did you pull something playing golf or playing pickleball? Did your child injure himself or herself during summer workouts or collisions on the field? Let Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics guide your journey back to health. Their team has been caring for athletes and their families in Birmingham with locations Jasper to Talladega, Fultondale, all the way down to Alabaster and throughout the Birmingham metro. Their team will work with you on a personalized treatment plan to get you back to health. Orthopedic care, better together. Find your provider today. Again, call 205-512-3885 or visit precisionsportsortho.com/2024, precisionsportsortho.com/2024. Cut one, Rockstar. Big game for the Stallions. They're 6-0. The Battlehawks are 5-1. Stallions are the best team in the USFL division. The St. Louis Battlehawks are the best team in the old XFL division, but they're playing for a UFL championship. Could be a preview of the championship game, which, by the way, will be played in St. Louis, regardless of who is in it, coming up a little bit later on this summer. But 3 o'clock Saturday at Protective Stadium, A.J. McCarron is back in the state that he's from, in a state he won 2 national championships in. So he's asked after the win over the weekend what it means to him to come play in Birmingham, Alabama.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how many Alabama fans root for St. Louis or how many of them root against me. So it'll be a fun atmosphere either way. I'm excited about it. Listen, we're all super blessed to be able to play a game for a living, and that's really what it is. I've been playing this game since I was 3 years old, turning 4 is the first time I put a helmet on. And I've played for a long time, and I still try to play it as a little kid and just have fun. And this one's going to be a fun one.
It should be a really good crowd. I hope it is anyway. You can get your tickets at theufl.com, theufl.com.
Think he ever takes another NFL snap?
I do not.
I mean, he's very, very productive in this league.
In this league, yes.
And he was in the XFL.
Best spring league quarterback ever.
I don't know if best spring quarterback ever. Jim Kelly played in the spring league. Steve Young played in the spring league.
They went on to the NFL, though. This guy has dominated the spring league. That's my point. He stayed around. He's the best spring league quarterback ever.
He got back in the NFL last year. He was on an NFL roster last year.
I don't think he took a snap, did he?
He didn't, but he ended up back on the roster as a backup. I don't know if he ever takes a snap or not. He may get back onto a roster again.
Yeah, I mean, he's completing 68% of his passes, leads the league in touchdown passes, second in passing yards. I mean, he is the old salty veteran quarterback out there.
I mean, he was given every opportunity to be a quarterback in the NFL and just, never could for whatever reason latch on. So I would have a hard time believing he does again, but you never know. What do you think, and this is something that there's no scientific answer to, what do you think?
I thought you were going to ask how much he makes a week, because I do know that.
Oh, you know how much A.J. McCarron makes a week?
Well, I know how much the average player. I don't know how.
He's got a different contract.
Okay.
You
think so? Or you know so?
I know so, yeah.
Okay.
He held out very publicly that they deserve to be paid more, and he ended up getting a bigger contract than some.
Wow.
He may have the biggest contract.
Well, he looked around the crowd and seen,
well, actually, they sell out that. Well, they don't sell out, but they have a good crowd at that point.
Well, again, they're the one outlier because they want to give middle finger to Stan Kroenke, which I don't think Stan Kroenke really cares.
Yeah, I don't think he's paying attention to your game.
Showing up, but on average, it's $5,500 a week.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the quarterback. I think it's one of those where the quarterbacks get paid more anyway, and I think A.J. got a different deal than some. He may be the highest paid player in the league.
Could be.
It wouldn't surprise me. Probably deservedly so. I mean, he is a quarterback on one of the best teams, and he's the best quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
What do you think, and there's no scientific answer to this. I don't know the answer. I'm just curious what your guys' opinion is and what the chat room might say. What do you think is the Alabama fan approval rating of A.J. McCarron? Like popularity. I don't know how to ask that question. Approval rating's not real.
Not enough. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Like the popularity level on a 1 to 10 scale.
We were doing a show together when he was, accomplishment-wise, the greatest quarterback in Alabama history.
There was at that time, he was the best quarterback to have played at Alabama.
Yeah, the problem
he was a two-time national champion who did not play special teams on the team that was number one and got beat by Auburn in the kick six.
Yeah.
But
he didn't lose that game.
After McCarron, there were 4 quarterbacks that were better.
There's no doubt about that, yes. He's been passed.
Jalen Hurts is tough.
Talent-wise.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts is tough because I would say that A.J. McCarron was more productive on the field, but you can't argue what Tua, Mac Jones, and Bryce did.
It's not even the same category.
You can't. But, I mean, A.J., they don't just let you hang around on NFL rosters just because you were good in college. And he was the backup quarterback for a lengthy period of time, was he not?
Ask our boy John Parker Wilson that question.
Yeah, but John Parker Wilson.
I was kidding.
I mean, but he was a talented enough guy to be on a backup.
Look, absolutely. I mean, John Parker, I think he was in the league for like 5 or 6 years. Same with A.J. McCarron.
Like our buddy Jay Barker and our buddy Stan White, they were not backup quarterbacks in the NFL for a long time.
For enough time to Stan's vested.
I think Stan's vested. I don't think Jay was around as much.
But like Jay seemed like he got cut on the regular on one of those last cuts. Coming out of camp.
The problem for AJ, not that it was a problem, was Nick Saban finally figured out how to recruit the only position that he didn't recruit at that 5-star level. And that was quarterback.
For that period of time, with the way Alabama played, I thought AJ was perfect. Such a great play action quarterback. It's easy to throw when you got a dominant offensive line. It gives you all time to throw.
And help me out. I don't remember A.J. making massive mistakes.
No.
games.
I think he cut down interceptions.
He threw the dang ball into the stands.
It was just a different.
He had the best arm on throwaways I've ever seen. Like he didn't just barely throw it out of bounds. He threw it out of bounds.
It was a different offensive approach. He played in the era where Alabama was still the joyless murder ball, and they had not. Really, Lane Kiffin had not come yet, basically, and changed the way Nick Saban allowed his offense to be played. So I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's like this. I don't know that A.J. McCarron, I don't know what he could have done on the field for Alabama, but it feels like there's some Alabama fans that just don't like A.J. McCarron.
They just don't talk about him enough, but that's the problem of how good the Saban years were.
Yeah.
That, I've said this 1,000 times, but, Jay Barker won the national championship in 1992. And then Alabama didn't win it again until 2009. So Jay was the quarterback of the last Alabama national championship team for a long time.
Right. And then McElroy was the golden guy for a while with Alabama fans, and that lasted all of
2 years.
2 years.
And then A.J. won back-to-back and then the kick six. And then it became about other players at that point. Then you had Derrick Henry, you had all the defensive stars, you had the quarterbacks.
Yep.
You know what it could be though with A.J. McCarron? He could have blocked other Alabama fans like he blocked Dunaway.
Maybe so. I don't
social
know.
Media.
I'm sure it was all totally an accident.
Mac Jones. I saw somebody there saying A.J. better than Mac.
No.
Yeah. Look, I know Mac. If you would have put A.J. in that system with those receivers, maybe the numbers are the same. Mac. There was no weakness that season for Mac.
Yeah, that was.
And Kevin Hart called him out. I know you hadn't seen the roast yet. But it leads to a really good best Giselle joke of the night. But Mac Jones isn't part of the roast.
My favorite part of the roast was Nikki Glazer looking at Tom and said, "You lost $30 million in crypto." Even Gronk looked at that and said, "Me, no, not real money."
And then Gronk did.
He laughed harder than anybody. Yeah,
he was like, "Yeah, absolutely."
Boy, that was the one thing that really jumped out about that roast is how, I'm sure Gronk. I mean, he looks like he's dumb. But I'm sure he's a lot smarter than people believe he is. But I mean, that was just,
could
you're
read
talking
the
about the
script.
horse that was getting whipped nonstop. That was Gronk, man, and how dumb he was. Everybody, even Belichick.
Brady did too. Brady was like, Gronk was a great tight end for us. Of course, it was a low bar for Patriot tight ends back then. Block, catch the ball, don't murder anybody. I don't want to steal all the material. All right, top of the hour. When we come back, we'll jump back to college football. The show being brought to you by our friends at Odie's. It's not Wednesday yet, is it?
Oh, no, we're close, so Dunaway. But it's a great day just to go sit on that patio, enjoy incredible food from Rodney Davis. Been doing it for more than 33 years now. Again, the burgers, wings, delicious sandwiches and salads, ice cold beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Get in today. 2 locations, the original in Crestline, now the newest location in Edgewood, right there on the corner of Oxmoor and Broadway. Go see Will Haver and that great staff. It's Odie's Tavern.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Birmingham's favorite lawn party returns to Greystone for the Region's Tradition, May 8th through 12th. Watch the legends of the game at Greystone and check out the Celebrity Pro-Am featuring Charles Barkley, Nick Saban, Kalen DeBoer, Hugh Freeze, and country superstar Riley Green. Enjoy the fun in the sun at the White Claw Watering Hole and Casamigos Club. And don't miss the food trucks and the Friday concert featuring the Black Jacket Symphony. The Region's Tradition. Buy your tickets today.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst coming up May 12th through the 14th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. Free public admission. It's Bama's biggest in-water boat show. Over 100 boats and vehicles on display. Vendors, food trucks, live music all weekend long. Fireworks show on Friday night. How about this? Free Velcro Pygmies concert coming up on Saturday. Mother's Day is Sunday. They're going to take care of mom with free mimosas all day on Sunday. For more information for this incredible event, go online, LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hour number 2 of the show, Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. Lunsford's up here working with Melton and some other folks and some stuff. Forster day off watching his daughter in the regional softball tournament. Good luck to them and everyone who's playing in the regions in baseball and softball this week. Tyler's handling a couple of jobs on the back row back there. Appreciate you, Tyler. Doing everybody's God's work back there. Rockstar is in his place. getting closer and closer. Is it in June when you're doing this Jimmy Buffett thing with Black Jacket Symphony?
First show is in Winchester, Tennessee on June 29th.
June 29th. I thought it was June 12th in my head, but
July 12th is the Birmingham show.
Okay, July 12th is the Birmingham show. That's going to get here quick, my friend.
Still, I'm cramming as best I can.
What do you open up with?
The album, Changes in Latitude, Changes in Attitude.
Oh, that's a good song, though.
I've already been hit up for tickets, by the way.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a good sign for you.
Did Dunaway hit you up?
No,
Yeah, my friend has tickets, 8 tickets, row 3. I think I'll be part of that group.
Dang.
So you'll have to stare at this bald head all night
Will you
long.
wave to me?
like I always do.
Some people get their flashlight on their phone and do that. It's really it's fun to watch that when somebody's.
Now I know
I'm
did back in the day, but will you for this show? I know you dressed up as a period head. I would almost.
I did one time. One time.
Very believable.
Cincinnati show 1991, I think.
I think Cincinnati was a big show for them too, for some reason.
It was. I did.
Was it at the amphitheater?
I saw him in Cincinnati Amphitheater. Saw him in Louisville at the old stadium, the old football stadium.
Yeah. There's something about that Cincinnati show that I think was a big show for them. I don't know why I know that.
You think Tony Curry might have hyped it up?
He could have.
Yeah.
He could have.
I think they recorded it live, Brown, maybe.
They may have. He does have several live recordings, I would imagine, but I think Cincinnati was one of them.
Yeah. This hour of the show being brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision.
Hey, seems like everything is going up in price. Not for LASIK at Michelson Laser Vision. Doctors Jennifer and Mark Michelson have held the cost at LASIK steady at the pre-inflation pricing from 2 years ago. Make the phone call that I made over 2 decades ago, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. They're going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. Also, people are starting to get those tax refunds back. Use the tax refund for LASIK with Dr. Mark and Dr. Jen Michelson. For more information, 205-969-8100. Tell them we sent you and you can also go online, michelsonlaservision.com.
Jace, I'm concerned here because I would say 40% of my underwear, my boxer briefs, are Tommy John's. Dunaway going to throw his Tommy John's at Rockstar after the show.
That would be fantastic.
So, Jace, I'm concerned how you and/or Molly know that I'm a Tommy John's guy.
Wow.
Well, they know that most teenage boys.
I guess the short joke from Clay, your britches show.
Your britches.
That is Terrion Arnold. Thank you, Rod. We'd love to have Terrion on anytime he is coming up. At the top of the hour, Terrion Arnold's first appearance with us since becoming a Detroit Lion. We look forward to talking to him. We get a quarterback named starter in the SEC yesterday. Rockstar cut number 3. It is Shane Beamer, and he's going to announce his starting quarterback at a Friends of the Gamecocks, the Click Clacks, whatever they call themselves up in South Carolina. He's out on tour, so he's out talking to Carolina fans, getting ready for another big football season for Shane Beamer. And he makes the announcement on who the starting quarterback is, but a familiar name still in the competition. Listen in.
Any announcements for QB1 coming tonight?
No, I mean, I'll tell you guys what I told Lenoris and all the quarterbacks coming out of spring practice. Coming out of spring practice, Lenoris is our starting quarterback. But just like all of our positions, that we will continue to compete at all positions. So I told Robbie Ashford the moment I say that at a Gamecock Club event, the headline's going to be Beamer names Lenoris Sellers starting quarterback. Lenoris is the starting quarterback coming out of spring. And now, like I told Lenoris and like I told Robbie did a great job during spring practice along with our other quarterbacks. Lenoris did a great job, and I expect Lenoris to continue to compete and continue to earn that position as well. You guys know from being here, I mean, going into 2022, nobody thought that Nicky Mamori and DQ Smith were going to be starting safeties because we had 2 seniors that they were behind. And we got into week 2 and they became starters, so it's the same thing. We don't all of a sudden name someone, Debo Williams, as our starting linebacker coming out of spring practice, but he needs to have a great summer to continue to be the starting linebacker. So that's where we are. And I had those conversations with those guys the Monday after the spring game.
Yeah, so Lenoris Sellers is the starting quarterback up there. If you're not familiar with him, 245-pound Lenoris Sellers.
Wow, big guy, huh?
Who can run. Who can run the ball.
Yeah, more of a KJ Jefferson, I would say.
Okay.
But Sellers is a guy that, he was the backup quarterback to Spencer Rattler, so he kind of had a head start on Robbie Ashford. But I'd be surprised if Sellers isn't your starting quarterback.
Confession here. Forgotten Robbie Ashford was at South Carolina.
Oh, really? You did?
I mean, yeah, I did.
It's easy to forget where a lot of these guys are
You
going.
remembered he was there?
No, not until he just popped it off.
Yeah. You're acting like you remembered he was there. You remembered Robbie Ashford was there?
I did, but I have a cheat sheet that I work off of.
So you didn't remember until you read it.
On the reg.
Yeah.
Well, he set up the cut there.
I'm aware you set up the cut, but Jim's acting like like this is the massive free agent move in the offseason I'd forgotten about.
Troy's got a good point. How many guys named Debo play at South Carolina?
It is weird, isn't it?
Another Debo Samuels. This one's a linebacker.
And not that Shane Beamer's coaching for his job this year, but if he was to have a bad year this year, then he becomes on a hot seat. You don't want Robbie Ashford, your quarterback, when you're coaching.
You really do not.
My point on Lenore Sellers is he's 245, and his big attribute is his ability to run the football out of the quarterback position. What is Robbie Ashford's biggest?
His ability to run the football out of the quarterback position.
But I think Sellers is at least deemed a more accurate passer right now. I mean, Sellers, and to your point, originally, he averaged almost 11 yards a carry last year when he did play.
Joel Klatt yesterday saying that we showed you his way too early top 25 coming out of spring. And he had Utah high. He doubled down on that on his podcast. He says Utah should win the Big 12 this year. Utah should win the Big 12 this year. Do you agree with that?
Well, I think it's going to be Utah, Kansas State, or Kansas. I've said this for a long time. It really depends on Cam Rising. How good is he going to be coming back? We haven't seen him in 2 years. I mean, this is what we saw with Deshaun Watson.
Well, I mean, we saw him. He missed one whole season.
One whole season, but the end of the second. But, I mean, it's still going to be
like he only missed one season off. He got injured in the Rose Bowl at the end of a really good season in back-to-back years.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess Deshaun was out one more season. Was he out too?
It seems like he was.
I don't know. It just seems like Cam Rising's been out for a long time. So, I mean, it just depends on how good he's going to be.
But being injured, and it felt like at some point last year he could have come back.
Well, I mean, the speculation was he was questionable for half the season.
Yeah, I mean, every week it was like, there's rumors Cam Rising's going to be back for Utah this week. And every week we did not see Cam Rising.
Yeah. And I see the kind of Cam Rising be 25 at the start of the season. Jace says
that's a good thing for Utah and Cam Rising.
Yeah,
I would say that the movement that you get from the players, especially at the quarterback position, as Jay Price is saying, every quarterback in the country transferred. No shame there, Brown, not remembering that Robbie Ashford isn't there. Quarterbacks do transfer, but just to make a point. Brandon Marcella, who 24/7 they do the coaching carousel, he put out a fact last night. 1 in 3 coaches changed jobs last year.
We get all over the kid. We hate it when the players do it, but the coaches are the kings of it, and they're the ones that complain about it more. The transfer portal.
This counts head coaches, assistants, coordinators. 1 in 3 coaches from last season to this season have changed job. 33%.
Yeah,
and I would imagine the player numbers in the portal are about the same. I would imagine 33% of the roster hit the portal.
Working in the service industry way back in the day, the turnover was just tremendous, nonstop. And I was talking to one of my boys that works in it right now, and he was talking about, there's a different server each and every week. And I don't know another industry that turns over more than college football.
I don't either. I think one of the other things Brandon pointed out, though, was the growing number year over year that went to the NFL. I think that number was up again in this most recent carousel, if I read Brandon's stuff right there. So, that's another thing, too, is 1 in 3 coaches moved, and more than last year, coaches went to the NFL from the college game.
They did. Another interesting thing from Brandon, you have just as good of a shot this past year to this year of leaving high school and coaching in the FBS as you do from leaving Division II, Division III and coaching in the FBS.
It does feel
there
like
were 3 Division II, Division III guys that made the jump to FBS. There were 2 high school guys that made the jump to FBS.
Yeah. I mean, it does feel like that's the better path right now is being an elite level high school coach, and then some lower level team in your state takes a shot at you and you climb the ladder from there.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because, even coaching at those levels, you've got to do things that you don't have to do in high school that you're required to do. So you would think you would be more D1 ready if you coached at those lower levels, not necessarily high school.
60 new offensive coordinators, 60 new defensive coordinators. Sort of worked out good there that You have 60 new DCs, 60 new offensive.
That's half of college football.
Yeah. So working out the change is consistent now. Tell us about Dr. B changing your hair, and we'll do one more thing in this segment.
Yeah, Dr. Beckenstein is the guy that I called when I started to thin out. We started this venture almost 3 years ago. Since then, my hair has more than doubled in thickness, and since that, Ryan Brown has gone to see Dr. Beckenstein. Again, for more than 20 years, women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training, genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. I do that non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. That is it. You see Brownie over there getting marked on from Dr. B, getting ready to grow that hair back. Again, mine is more than doubled in thickness. For that consultation, call 205-319-0316. Tell them the next round sent you. For more information, t3hair.net.
Yesterday, Alabama lost a legend in Cecil Hootie Ingram, one of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet, 90 years old. Everybody knows him as the Alabama athletic director from 1989 to 95. He was the guy that hired Gene Stallings, who came in and finally won a national championship for Alabama again. Before that, he was at Florida State, working hand in hand with Bobby Bowden, having those great years in the 80s. He was the AD there, 81 to 89. What you may not know, helping the SEC grow from 1972 to 1981. He was an associate commissioner in the SEC office. But the most amazing thing that I got in reading about Hootie Ingram yesterday was that as a halfback DB, played both ways back then with Bart Starr, he holds the SEC record to this day for most interceptions in a season. He had 10 in 1952. 10 interceptions in a season where you played 10 games.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You know, now you can get into, now we're going to be able to play 16 possibly. But that's an incredible record for him to hold on to it. What was that? The team of the century? What year was that?
1952 is when he did that. 10 years, 10 interceptions in 10 games in 1952. He was drafted by the Philadelphia Eagles and never played it down for him. Got up there after signing and decided he did not want to play pro football.
Well, I think that was back in the time where you could be an attorney and make a lot more money. Right?
Yeah. It wasn't the glamorous thing, but that is hard to believe. It's only 10, though. Honestly,
yeah, it really is.
The 10 in a single season, but I mean, you start to think about it in a regular season.
I would think 7 led college football this year.
Yeah, maybe so. I could look that up, but. That's wild that record still stands.
It's the SEC record, I'm sure. When they point out it's an SEC record, that means somebody has more in other conferences. The national record is more than 10.
It's 7 led last year.
Yeah. 7 interceptions. Ricardo Hallman of Wisconsin and Xavier Watts of Notre Dame. 7, and both of them played a 13-game season. As you pointed out, that was a 10-game season for Hootie Ingram.
Well, it's interesting, and how much more do they throw the football?
I know.
And 70 years later.
I know.
Now the fact that the interception record is still from 1952.
He picked everything they threw.
That's right. How many ducks were thrown back then? The big fat balls they threw.
Realistically, in 1952, would you think it's about 10 attempts per game?
I would say Bart Starr threw it about 15.
Yeah, but still, I mean, if you're talking about, let's just say it was 15, 150 passes thrown against you, and you're picking off 10 of those 150, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, Cecil Hootie Ingram, Tuscaloosa guy, went to school there, coached high school there, and then went on to coach at Wake Forest, Virginia Tech, Georgia, Arkansas, and Clemson. One of a kind, and he will be missed by many associated with Alabama. When we come back, we will do 4 downs and a lot more. This is The Next Round.
Follow LT on Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
You got to look your best to play your best, and our friends at Bandwagon can help your team find the perfect uniforms for that upcoming season. Bandwagon is with you every step of the way, from developing your team logo design to choosing from their multitude of samples. You name the sport, they can make it happen. To get your uniform journey started, you can shoot them a message on any social media platform or check out their website, bandwagonsports.com. That's bandwagonsports.com. Next Round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Fire damage to your home or business is something you never want to consider. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. But in the horrible event it happens, Dry Tech is here to help. They respond quickly and will reply to you within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They're working for you, the customer, not the insurance company. They've got 5 crews ready to go 24/7. Don't call the insurance company first. Call Dry Tech. Just remember this website, mydrytech.com. That is mydrytech.com.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Back with you on The Next Round. We are 108 days from college football. Thursday's a big day on the show. What do you think's happening Thursday?
Thursday.
Let's play How Well Do You Know the Show?
Oh, gosh, Jim. I feel like I know the show pretty well. Thursday, what is today? May 7th, 8th, 9th. May 9th is Thursday. We are not 100 days from week 0 that day.
No, we're not. We're not. Rockstar, you want to take a guess on Thursday?
We're not starting the 40 and 40. That doesn't start for...
That's coming up. By the way, you can be a voter. Last day to be a voter. Go to nextroundlive.com, nextroundlive.com, and you can be a 40 and 40 voter. We've already got enough voters there signed up, but go sign up and see if I select you to be a voter this year.
Thank you to MyBookie for sponsoring that, too.
MyBookie 40 and 40 will count down soon. And get your top 25 ready. You'll be putting a top 25 together. Get it ready because we're going to have to move fast when I send you that email.
Thursday.
LT, any guess?
Know.
So what's the date on that?
That's the 9th. May 9th. That day means nothing to me.
Yeah. Here you go, LT.
I'm supposed to know the show well.
Today is this number.
Show 700?
It is show 700. That is correct. That's a lot of shows, it seems like.
It is a lot of shows, yeah.
It does seem that way, yeah.
I mean, if we were in syndication doing a sitcom, we would
700 shows,
and we'd be rich.
Yeah.
Then we got picked up that many times. Johnson RV Center. Before we get to 4 downs, tell us about Johnson RV.
I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Those are the 2 locations for Johnston RV Center, and at both those locations, they have repriced their entire inventory, repriced it all. And they are so confident that they've got the best prices anywhere, they will beat any price you bring them. That is a nationwide guarantee. Lowest price nationwide. Also, don't forget RV Warranty Forever. Make sure you've got that lifetime warranty on anything you buy new or qualifying used. Lifetime warranty. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
By the way, you guys were talking about old players. Making me sound like Robbie Ashford was old. Who else were they acting like? Alan Bowman is the starting quarterback for Oklahoma State this year. This will be his 7th season, I think, to start at some point during a season.
Well, this is going to be the oldest we've ever had quarterbacks, right?
Right.
I mean, because of the COVID year, you're not going to see this. You're not going to see much. I mean, maybe at BYU with.
But this is the last year of that, right?
Unless you've got an injury-related extension, this is the last year people can use the COVID year without injury, basically. Like some guys, their injury has given them another year, so then they've got the COVID year on top of that. I think Cam Rising is in that category, if I'm not mistaken. And so that has extended it. But if you've not had an injury year, this is the last year the COVID year is going to benefit anyone. Which I think it was great that they gave the COVID year, but it has made it super confusing as to who's got eligibility left.
Yeah. Nicholas says Robbie Ashford came out of high school the same year Bo Nix did. I find that hard to believe.
Cannot confirm.
I can't. I don't think
Yeah,
that's
I don't
right.
think that's right.
I don't think that's right.
It feels that way, though.
Zach says it's kind of a red flag if you're in year 7 and you're still choosing to play college football.
Robbie did play professional baseball, so.
Yeah. No, you're right. That is a bit of a red flag. That almost screams you're not NFL material, right? If I'm playing year 7 of college football.
Yeah.
I mean, it worked out for Penix and Bo. I mean, basically year 6, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Bo has more career starts than anybody in NCAA football history.
I think Penix is in the top 5.
And those are records that are probably never going to be challenged unless they change it, to which I think they ought to do, is everybody gets 5 years. There's no such thing as a red shirt. You show up at college, you got 5 years to play, and that's it.
Troy's saying COVID year, huge benefit for Auburn basketball this year. Is Janai in a COVID year? I know Dylan probably is.
Yeah.
I don't know how many others are. By the way, can I just say this before we get to 4 downs about Auburn basketball? We've talked about all this Alabama portal stuff, but ESPN's way too early. We saw On Threes had Auburn 9, Alabama 1.
Gary Parrish, I think, had Alabama 4, Auburn 9.
Yeah, so 4 and 9.
A lot of top 10s out there for both of them.
ESPN's way too early. Kansas, Houston, Iowa State, Gonzaga, Baylor, Alabama 6 on ESPN's way too early. Then UConn, North Carolina, Duke, Arizona, Texas A&M 11, Auburn 12. We spent a lot of time talking about this Alabama roster, and how it's going to be maybe the best. This Auburn roster is showing up 9, 12.
Well, whose rankings are those?
ESPN's way too early.
Okay, so ESPN's way too early. If I ask both of you guys, if the final poll comes out next year and Alabama is 6th and Auburn is 12th, are both fan bases disappointed?
Yeah.
I think they are. I mean, I think it's pretty awesome.
I mean,
They're
I
both
think
in that top 12 right there.
After the
But I'm
NCAA
talking about,
tournament.
Yeah, if you finish 6th, that means you've made the Elite 8 probably.
Yep.
If you finish 12th, that means you ended in the
Sweet
Sweet 16 probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Sweet 16 would please Auburn fans. I don't think Elite 8 would please Alabama
fans. I think
fans.
Auburn fans, it's Final Four. I think Alabama, it's national championship.
Yeah.
I know that sounds stupid.
No, but I'm kind of with you on that.
I think it's just back to the Final Four.
I don't know. The roster that is built right now for Nate and getting to the Final Four last year.
We keep looking at Alabama 1, 2, where they're going to be, and then it's not always too far down until you get to Auburn too. So pretty good returning roster down on the Plains as well. They just haven't changed over as many players, I guess, to this point. Still looking for a couple that they'll fill out that roster down there on the Plains. But the ESPN way too early. Very kind to Auburn too, and to the SEC. Alabama 6, A&M 11, Auburn 12, Florida 15, Tennessee 18, Texas 20, Arkansas 25 in the ESPN rankings. Right there. Let's do 4 downs, brought to you by our friends at Slice Every Day, LT.
Yeah, 5 locations for you now at Slice. Make sure you stop in. Go see the Bajaya brothers, created by the late Jeff Bajaya. His brothers continue to celebrate his legacy. Get in, see Jason and Chris. 5 locations, the original in Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park, now Edgewood. Local pizza, local ingredients. Get a slice and a salad today. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
Who wins a championship next? Joe Burrow with the Cincinnati Bengals or Brian Kelly with LSU?
I'd go Brian Kelly, LSU. Burrow's got injury situations. Cincinnati's never done this. LSU has, and Brian Kelly doesn't get injured. He's always going to be the coach. So I'll go Brian Kelly, LSU.
So we're talking Super Bowl national championship, not AFC championship.
So
or
it would be a
SEC.
first national championship at this level for Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
I think both are going to happen. I don't know why.
I'll go Brian Kelly with Brown. but neither I'd go with as well. Super Bowl, right now on that side of the ledger, Cincinnati's not in my top 3, top 4, top
of AFC
5
teams. Yeah.
Oh, if I told you he was 100% healthy, they would be.
Joe Burrow?
Yeah, I mean, I would still have Baltimore and Kansas City in front, but I think I would have them third.
Ahead of Miami, ahead of Buffalo.
Yeah.
Ahead of the Jets with a healthy Rodgers.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Man, I just want to see it from the Jets.
Yeah.
Same kind of with your Dolphins.
Yeah. Chargers are going to look pretty good this year.
Yeah, I mean, look, the AFC stacked.
Yeah,
It really
that
is.
was my point.
Yeah.
AFC was stacked. I'd go LSU, but the SEC is stacked as well.
Second down.
Alex Smith, 40 years old today. Better career, Alex Smith or the controversial Alec Baldwin?
Has Baldwin ever won a Best Actor?
No.
No, he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for The Cooler.
Okay.
I
I
enjoyed
can't
him.
even tell you what his best role is.
I enjoyed him in 30 Rock on television.
He was good in The Departed.
Yeah, but he wasn't.
No.
He
wasn't
such a big cast. I'm just trying to think of what is his Beetlejuice?
I mean,
what is his signature role?
The remake of The Getaway with his then wife.
Kim.
Was he in
Basinger
Crimson
was really
Tide?
good.
No, he
Yes.
was Hunt for Red October.
Hunt
He
for
was
Red October.
Jack Ryan, which was I was going to say I thought that was probably his best role
Yeah, that
for
was a good
me
movie.
is Jack Ryan in Hunt for Red October.
I mean, there's a lot of people that view him as obviously an angry,
A little bit of a temper.
way too political guy.
bet.
And obviously he's been in the trouble with the law with the last film he was shooting. But that guy
Literally.
was a really good actor.
Yeah.
Tough choice of words there.
And I think it would have been an easy choice, Alec Baldwin, up until then. I just don't know what Baldwin's going to be able to do moving forward.
Wasn't he the doctor rock star in that movie?
Malice?
I always go back to Malice. Yeah.
He is not a fun interview to listen to. When he comes on Stern, he's a constant throat clear. Well, we were producing the film in a
Oh, wow.
and I just don't believe that we
yeah.
got together. So
Very aggressive too. It sounds like.
Yeah, I think. Do we have a little echo in your microphone? Or
I
that
don't
was
know. Do we?
the
I don't
throat
know.
clear was.
Do you
I believe
think
the throat
he's
clear was getting you.
like, I don't know where they are legally on that whole thing. I think the movie was called like Rustin.
It's Rust. Yeah, well, we talked about it on the Meltdown, and since I think this girl, she got convicted for it, and she's getting
The
time in jail.
armorer, right?
Yeah, 10 to
And
15 years.
Do you still release the film?
Oh, yeah, you'll kill it.
Literally.
I mean,
Yes.
And
apologize on the wording there, but
And people like you, I would have no interest in it. Would you watch it now, knowing that
No,
somebody
I
literally
mean, it
got
would
killed
make,
on set?
I wasn't going to watch it before. I don't think it would make me watch it.
And
I,
I think
I
it's the
went and saw The Crow when it opened
That's what
up.
I'm saying. Same. The Crow with Brandon Lee.
I would. Oh, yeah, depending on what it looked
Yeah.
like. Like I know it's a Western, but I don't know the ins and outs.
What
of it.
was the movie when I think I was in college, maybe in the 90s, where a helicopter
Yeah,
mishap?
that was Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone.
It
yeah.
was Jennifer Jason Leigh's dad.
Yeah, but we didn't have as much media back then. Where it's just like people are going to be pissed off. You guys are just making money off this girl's death.
But again, and it's very sad that she passed, and I would hope they take care of her family, which they're probably going to anyway in the lawsuits. But a lot of people went and worked on that movie that aren't going to get paid the same amount if the movie doesn't come out. So
Well, and I think you can make it look decently by
Yeah.
saying, hey, we're going to pay our last respects. We're going to give you X percentage of box office sales. And I think that would probably help with people going. I mean, if you're one of those that's torn morally because you feel like it's a bad look for you to go invest in something where somebody died, if their family, their estate's getting some of the money back, it might soften the blow a little bit.
Third down.
Another celebrity birthday. Johnny Unitas would have been 91. Better career. Ultimately, Johnny Unitas or Johnny Depp?
Louisville for Unitas, and then in the 50s. By the time the Colts,
He was the best quarterback in the NFL or the AFL back then, right?
for the NFL is where the Colts were. They made the switch. He was the quarterback of record early on. He and that Y.A. Tittle guy, and Frank Gifford was a running back for the Giants. I think as the NFL became a television product, Unitas was pretty big. By the time we got to the Super Bowl, the Unitas Super Bowl, wasn't he the loser against Joe Namath? That was the end of his career.
I thought Earl Morrall started that game.
Yeah, but Unitas was hurt.
Oh, he was injured.
and
Yes,
Earl
yeah,
Morrall,
yeah.
who came in for Unitas, and then later on did it for Bob Greasy
With the Dolphins.
So what year was
two
that?
Super Bowl starts for Earl Morrall
69?
in replace of two Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
69,
Yep.
so back it up 55. Yeah, I mean, he would have been in his 30s. Yeah.
And they named the award after him,
Yeah, he's
Johnny
got it,
Unitas
yeah.
Golden Armor
But
Award.
Johnny Depp, like if you take away, and obviously there was a lot of drama with Depp at the end over the last couple of years, but if you take away the Pirates of the Caribbean,
I was going to say he's known
where's
for
his career?
being a Keith Richards impersonator. It's him and Tim Burton.
Zero doubt.
All the
He's
Tim Burton movies.
He's most known for Pirates of the Caribbean. I mean, that is not even an
And
argument.
I enjoyed Blow. I don't know if you liked Blow.
I like Blow, but like I'm just saying, he didn't make the movie. Like he's not one of those ones where God, Johnny Depp is so good.
Yeah,
he's playing the guitar in the desert.
Just to go back, though, as Brownie pointed out last week, it's a gimmick. So I'd go Johnny Unitas.
What is a gimmick?
Depp's career is a gimmick because he dressed as a pirate. There was somebody you were calling a gimmick last week.
I said Peter Frampton. The whole guitar thing was a gimmick.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was the role he was hired to do.
Yeah,
I mean,
but then we got into, eventually all of Depp's roles were gimmicks. Edward Scissorhands.
Well, a little bit. I see what you're saying now. Yeah.
I would lean Depp here.
I'd go Unitas.
4th down.
This one's going to be controversial. Is Lunsford back there?
No, he is not.
We needed Lunsford for this. Anyway, Mr. Beast, a guy I had no idea who he was, 26 years old, and I know what Tyler's going to fall on this. Ultimately, better career, Mr. Beast or Kirby Smart?
It's going to be Kirby, I think, but the Mr. Beast story is pretty darn incredible. Now, our generation is going to say Kirby. You go to my kids' generation, they don't even know who Kirby Smart is. They all know who Mr. Beast
hey, look,
is.
and I know
So this is going to be a very generational.
Not all about money, and there comes Lunsford. But for him to be able to what he's done social media-wise, do you know how many subscribers he's got on YouTube? And maybe Lunsford can answer this better. He's got 256 million subscribers to one channel.
I know.
And monetarily, what does that pay you per month?
I don't know. Lunsford is back there now. Lunsford, jump into the conversation.
Do you really ask the question, Mr. Beast or Kirby
He
Smart?
did ask that question,
Not even
Lunsford.
remotely close, Mr. Beast.
Yes. What do you think?
Not even on the same wavelength.
What do you think he makes annually on YouTube?
Oh.
I mean, 256 million subscribers to that one channel.
Yeah, I mean, he's the kind of guy that every single video he does, he's giving away millions.
Yeah.
I mean, every single week, he's giving away millions. Now, he does the whole thing where he, takes a loan, then pays it back. I mean, he has a smart system for it, but, I mean, they're not even... Mr. Beast, I would say, is bigger than most NFL things, much less college football.
Yeah.
Wait, a bigger entity than, the Indianapolis Colts?
Yeah, probably.
Well, not worth more, though. I mean, the Colts are worth several
Well,
billion
no,
dollars.
but I'm saying just people know Mr. Beast more than people can probably name, I'd say, almost any NFL player.
Yeah, I'm with Lunsford on that. There's probably a handful of NFL players that are more popular than Mr. Beast.
I really didn't know who the guy was.
Across the
about
board.
a year
Well,
ago.
it's generational. You wouldn't. But, boy, you go to the young generation, they all know that guy.
Yep.
Chris H., Mr. Beast gives away more money than Kirby makes every year.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So that's more than $13 million a year right now.
Yeah, but who will be more remembered in 100 years?
Probably Mr. Beast.
Mr. Beast.
Probably
Yeah.
Mr.
Okay.
Beast because, as Rod is saying, he's drilled 100 wells in Africa and counting.
Okay. There you go. Thought it was going to be controversial. Apparently not.
Yeah.
I mean, 256 million subscribers is
it's outrageous.
I mean, that's America.
I know. He's got an entire nation.
That is our 4 Downs today, brought to you by our friends at Slice.
Yeah, 5 great locations for you for lunch or dinner. You can get that carry-out special as well. That is 7 days a week. Stop into one of those locations. Tell the Bajalia Brothers the next round sent you. For more information, SliceBirmingham.com.
A couple of golf reminders for you here. One of them, regionstradition.com. Regionstradition.com. We're out there tomorrow. You can be there too. Tickets at regionstradition.com. And we will be eventually into the Coca-Cola staging area where we'll have an opportunity to interview some celebrities tomorrow that we'll have up on our platform, thanks to our great friends at Coca-Cola, which has great things like the Coca-Cola Spiced Out this summer, the Sprite Chill, which is a wonderful limited time run of Sprite there. Always our favorites, Coca-Cola Classic, Coke Zero, Diet Coke, and all the Coke products. We invite you to stay tuned for our Coca-Cola experience from Greystone starting tomorrow and on our platforms as we do that, regionstradition.com. Also, the golf card is out there for you to participate, Brownie, with some local golf clubs and enjoy the summer.
Yeah, 4 great area golf courses, and you get 18 holes and a card for just $99. We're talking places like the newly renovated historic Woodward Golf Club, the Meadows, Cross Creek, Limestone Springs, all of those on the same card presented by Urology Centers of Alabama. That card is a $247 value. You're getting it for just $99. Or get the next round deluxe golf card for just $119. All 4 courses with cart, plus an exclusive Next Round Golf t-shirt, koozie, golf tees, and a sticker. There are no restrictions. The cart is good through October 2024. Supplies are limited. Get your golf cart now. Nextround.store, nextround.store.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst is back May 12th through 14th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. It is Bama's biggest in-water boat show with more than 100 boats and vehicles on display, vendors and food trucks, live music all weekend long, and it is free public admission. Don't forget the Friday night fireworks show, free Velcro Pygmies concert Saturday, free mimosas for Mom on Mother's Day Sunday. LoganMartinLakeFest.com for more info. It's the annual Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst May 12th through 14th. LoganMartinLakeFest.com. There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Birmingham's favorite lawn party returns to Greystone for the Region's tradition May 8th through 12th. Watch the legends of the game at Greystone and check out the Celebrity Pro-Am featuring Charles Barkley, Nick Saban, Kalen DeBoer, Hugh Freeze, and country superstar Riley Green. Enjoy the fun in the sun at the White Claw Watering Hole and Casamigos Club. And don't miss the food trucks and the Friday concert featuring the Black Jacket Symphony. The Region's tradition. Buy your tickets today.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, if you're in the Pell City area and want to come hang out with us for a little bit before we jump on air, we'll be at the Buffalo Wild Wings in Pell City tonight. Right before 5 o'clock, we'll be on the air 5:30 in our video platform, running for a little over an hour out there as we get ready for Lake Fest going on.
Yeah, Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show. It's coming up this weekend, 10th through the 12th, presented by AmFirst on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. Free admission for the public. It's Bama's biggest in-water boat show. Over 100 boats and vehicles on display, vendors, food trucks, live music all weekend long. Fireworks show on Friday night. The Velcro Pygmies will be performing on Saturday. Of course, it's Mother's Day weekend. They're going to take care of Mom. Free mimosas. For more information, LoganMartinLakeFest.com. That's LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Auburn gets a big commitment yesterday. 4-star linebacker Tyler Lockhart picks Auburn, part of the 2025 class coming up. And the portal news gets so crazy, these guys, this time of year, that the actual recruiting process of high school 4 and 5 stars seem to not be on the headlines as much as they have been in the past. The portal sort of has taken over that right now, but that's a big high school recruit there for Auburn, big 4-star linebacker who picks Auburn over several big-time programs there. Look forward to seeing you out in Pell City tonight as we get closer and closer to football. I want to. What are you asking?
I'm
What are you
laughing at
about?
CU asking if Rush Probst is going to be a guest.
Hey, that was on the table earlier.
He's got time on his hands.
Yeah, he does. He ended up resigning. Is that what happened?
He did resign, at Pell City. Pell City got the full Rush experience right there in one season. That's huge for them.
We are getting ready for college football season, and I want to talk to these guys about rivalries that aren't really rivalries. Games, matchups in college football that have a rivalry feel to them, though they don't play each other every year, and sometimes rarely, or sometimes really not at all yet. And I got 5, and I want to discuss these 5, and I'm going to do it backwards. Tyler, if you'll throw up the graphic here, Little T puts this together. These are 5 sort of rivalries that aren't really rivalries, and I want to start at the bottom first, because Georgia and Texas, they'll play each other this year. But don't you feel like Georgia and Texas is growing into a little something, mainly because of recruiting, the void that has been left by Nick Saban leaving the league, 2 former successful coordinators now making it happen as head coaches? Don't you feel like this is almost a little mark your territory time for these 2 programs, and they just happen to play each other in the newly expanded SEC this year? I'm going to love a little Georgia-Texas banging heads over the next few years as long as Kirby and Sark are the coaches.
Yeah, I see where you're going here. I don't like the only thing I really remember is that Sugar Bowl.
Where the Bull Uga upset Bevo. That's the only time I can remember them playing.
No, I think moving forward, I think there's going to be a lot of build-up, and Texas is trying to take over that second spot from Alabama right now in the SEC. I don't know if they've done that already. I don't know how people feel coming into the season. Do you guys think Texas will be ranked in front of Alabama?
You've got Georgia first.
Oh, yeah.
Right now.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Alabama's the defending SEC champions.
I don't know if they'll be ranked in front of them. I do know they haven't taken it over yet. I mean, you can't say they've taken over the second spot. Alabama was just in the college football playoffs.
That's right. I'm not even giving Georgia the first one yet, but okay.
Okay. They can, Lance, take it over. Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people wonder moving forward. It was Alabama LSU for quite a while in this conference. Then it was Alabama Georgia for quite a while. Does it become Georgia Texas?
Yeah. Put the list back up, Tyler. I still have Alabama Georgia, not a rivalry game. They get to play each other this year too, and this sort of becomes a little, hey, Nick Saban's gone, Kalen DeBoer. It's not going to change, Kirby. It's still you still got to battle us for recruits. Still got to battle us for championships. So that's important too. I wanted to talk about these other 3 though. Ohio State, Notre Dame, there in the Midwest. I still feel like Notre Dame's going to end up in the Big Ten, and where these 2 are right now in college football, non-SEC, I feel like Ohio State and Notre Dame moving forward, not a rivalry game, but I think their paths are going to cross a lot in recruiting and then eventually on the football field in playoffs.
Yeah, we saw them in the Fiesta Bowl a couple times over the last decade. We saw a really a great game last year, not a lot of offense, but Ohio State scores on that final play. Just 2 old school brands. I can see that as a rivalry.
Florida State, LSU, I think those last 2, LSU, Florida in the SEC, they played each other so many years in a row. That was sort of a made for television, made for schedule rivalry. What Florida State and LSU did the last 2 years, if Mike Norvell keeps Florida State in the playoff contention, in the playoff hunt, LSU is going to be in the playoff hunt. Those 2 could become what we've gotten with Alabama and Clemson, what we've gotten with some of these other consistently popping up games showing up again. Florida State LSU could show up and be a rivalry game, in my opinion.
Yeah, I
feel like rivalry game.
If they would continue to play, the problem with that is obviously not being in the same conference. There's no guarantee you get to see this moving forward unless it happens in the playoff. But it has felt like both those games are pretty important the last couple of years. It came down to the missed extra point in that first year, and I thought, God, both those teams are bad, and LSU ended up winning the West. And then last year, Florida State's second half domination of LSU was the story of week 1. And it was a harbinger of things to come for Florida State.
Yeah, if Florida State would have kept a healthy Jordan Travis, and that was probably their best half of football the entire year, they looked like they absolutely could have beaten anybody.
Yeah, I agree with you. And there's just something about SC in Utah. One of the things that are falling apart with the Pac-12 going away is now that SC's in the Big Ten and Utah's in the Big 12. But it just seems like that wasn't a rivalry game like SC, Notre Dame, SC, and UCLA. But that had some juice to it.
Yeah, to me, it was the biggest, like just watching from a USC perspective over the last few years. So they've only played 23 times in the history of both programs, and USC leads that 13-10. But they're 7-7 their last 14. Utah has won the last 4. Both not 2023, 2022 were thrillers, where Utah wins late. Then USC had that lead almost going into halftime. Utah ended up winning that game. But both great games in 2022.
Yeah, Rod's right. Alabama and Clemson was that way for a period. Wasn't a rivalry game, but they were meeting every year in the playoffs. So that ended up being one. Jay Price is right. Back in the 80s, where it was Auburn and Florida State, it seemed like they rolled around a lot.
Yeah.
Regular season matchups. There's a Sugar Bowl matchup. It seemed like they faced each other a lot.
Yeah, it was a great game, Auburn, Florida State. Just it felt like every year. Just there was that classic one in the 80s down in Tallahassee. Then they played another classic 1990 in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Just back and forth. Those are such good games.
Back when I was a kid, I liked when Auburn and Georgia Tech played each other. That was a good game. Saw Bo Jackson run over in that old stadium in Atlanta.
Alabama Penn State was too. In that same time frame when I was growing up, Alabama and Penn State
played a lot.
It was an intersectional rivalry. Penn State was an independent then. And it was just, Eastern power versus traditional Southern power.
Yeah. Ended up being those. Any of those other ones out there that popped to mind? Because I was scanning my brain last night.
TCU and Texas.
Yeah, I had TCU Oklahoma briefly. TCU and Texas is legit.
I mean, TCU dominated that rivalry. Like Gary Patterson couldn't lose to Texas.
Yeah. But you're right. Because of Gary Patterson and everything he'd say about Texas, TCU and Texas had a lot of juice to it.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was out chipping golf balls barefoot on your soccer field last night, your church's soccer field.
Yeah.
And
big meeting last night about that.
Oh, was there really?
Yeah.
I didn't take any divots. I was
That's
out there.
what you keep saying, but we keep having divots show up. And
Listen, I don't know what to tell you.
You're the only guy on tape.
Yeah.
What were they practicing last night?
Soccer. And I was thinking about, I was out there walking around thinking about this topic. And the one I was sad we're going to lose, Utah, USC. Felt like it was important. Are they okay with me not having my shoes on the field, though?
Yeah. I mean, would you do that at your house?
I have started doing it at my house. I used to never go outside barefoot until Jennifer and I watched this documentary on earthing. Have you seen this?
No.
You haven't seen that? Have you seen it?
No, but it's good to get connected with Mother Earth.
It is good to get connected with the earth.
I'll have you two like hippies pretty soon.
Yeah. It's a fascinating theory, and they've done some studies on it.
It's like sunning your perineum.
No. This has far more science behind it.
Because I've been doing that for years.
This has far more science behind it, but they've done studies on it, and it's very limited studies. But the studies they have done have shown tremendous positive health effects, primarily in chronic fatigue, sleeping disorders, joint pain. And it all goes back to inflammation, like inflammation inside of your body. And there is a growing belief in the medical world that they call it grounding yourself. Walking around barefoot outside for as little as 15 minutes a day has a monumental effect on your health.
Now, back to what Rockstar, sunning your ass. They've got plenty of studies on that, too.
I don't think they do.
Oh,
we've got plenty of studies that it's not great for you, but it's not bad. You got to get that vitamin D.
Yeah, that one
never
is...
sees the sun.
Yeah, that one is nothing. But this has actual medical
you're
professionals behind it.
Minerals walking in the dirt.
Well, here's the thing is it's pretty wild when you look at the science behind it, that the sun, in the ionosphere, the sun's rays basically creates almost an atomic explosion. The negative particles return to Earth via lightning, and you absorb them by walking, and it rebalances your electrical. I mean, your body's an electrical system, and it rebalances it. I'm a believer in this.
Okay, well,
so I've started
American Indians' life expectancy 65 years.
I've started walking around outside.
Pre or before
barefoot
the colonies?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, the colonies had a little bit of a problem against the Indians.
Yeah.
So I've started walking around outside barefoot. They say about 15 minutes a day is very helpful to you. And it could be the placebo effect. I don't know. But this is one of those where, like, so what if this has nothing to it? I mean, there's nothing. Walking around outside barefoot's nice.
Until you step on a nail.
And you don't step on a nail in your yard.
Maggie has introduced me to a study that if you kiss longer than 8 seconds at a time, it extends the husband's life.
How about that?
Lunsford, come here.
So does she just tease you with that? Like, we don't want to extend your life? If I was to kiss you for 8 seconds.
She stops at 5. I was like, that's only 5 seconds. She goes, I know.
I don't want you to
she
live any
waves the
longer.
life insurance policy at me.
So I've been getting my 15 minutes barefoot at your field there, your soccer field, and some chipping practice.
I
in the
walk
process.
around barefoot all the time.
It's a win-win. Got to do it outside now.
DB King is right. Roll Tide Willie may not ever die.
I mean, he does walk around barefoot.
Is he barefoot a lot?
Oh,
he is.
Doesn't have shoes.
I
Always
shouldn't be
barefoot.
shy.
I
Always
walked
barefoot.
around in the grass in the yard now. I'm not going to get crazy and do it in the dirt.
I love it. I love it on the beach. I like just the, to me, it just helps everything because the arch just hits the earth.
You mentioned the beach, and this is bad for you, but they say you can get the same effect from being, submerging yourself in the ocean, in lakes and rivers, any body of water that's in contact with the earth.
Why is that bad for me?
Because you can't swim.
I know, but I can stand up to my neck. I've done it my whole life.
Oh. Well, I mean, that may help. They say submerge yourself, but I guess your head doesn't matter.
Am I submerged?
It's not baptizing. No, not fully.
As long as I can touch, I go underwater.
See, I don't like being barefoot on concrete. I know you said you do it in your yard.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got to get to the yard. So
It's just around the pool, going to the mailbox.
Yeah, to walk around in your yard. They say as little as 15 minutes a day, and it can help a ton of things, primarily inflammation. A lot of these diseases and stuff we deal with starts with inflammation.
Greg from Pell City says, funny you say that, Jim. Andrea and I kiss for 8 to 10 seconds before I leave every morning.
Yeah, it's led to a bunch of kids for him.
Live long and prosper, Greg.
Wait, count 10 seconds in your head. My
That's
God,
a long
that's
time.
long.
It's a long kiss, man. Wasn't that long, though, in 7th, 8th grade in that back seat, though, was it?
What?
Was James Sr. driving?
Hey, top of the hour now, and we will get to Terrion Arnold, who's scheduled to be with us next. The show being brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill. Used to kiss all night at those makeout parties in 7th and 8th
Speaking
grade.
of Hemp Hill.
205-229-2090. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there, they are going to take care of you. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hang out with the Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out the Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
You got to look your best to play your best, and our friends at Bandwagon can help your team find the perfect uniforms for that upcoming season. Bandwagon is with you every step of the way, from developing your team logo design to choosing from their multitude of samples. You name the sport, they can make it happen. To get your uniform journey started, you can shoot them a message on any social media platform or check out their website, bandwagonsports.com. That's bandwagonsports.com. Next Round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon. Birmingham, your Stallions take on former Crimson Tide quarterback A.J. McCarron and the St. Louis Battlehawks on Saturday, May 11th at 3 p.m. It's Braves Day. You get to meet Braves mascot Blooper and get a free custom baseball card. Enjoy the Fan Fest, on-field opportunities for the kids, and elite professional football. Tickets start at just $10. Buy yours today at theufl.com. With only 3 home games left this season, don't miss the chance to cheer on the unbeaten Stallions. Let's pack protective.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
This hour of the show being brought to you by Storm Restoration Roofing. We'll talk to Terrion Arnold in just a second. Greg from Pell City, when he's not kissing his wife on the way out the door to get on your roof, he is making one of the great American business success stories happen. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. It is Greg from Pell City on Facebook, Storm Restoration Roofing, a free no-cost roof inspection with no obligation. 205-542-3531. That's his cell phone. You can call him up right now or text him right now and get him to come check out your house, your roof. Find out if you need a new roof. Maybe you got some problems up there. It only takes one loose shingle to cause a major problem up top. Get Greg to do a roof inspection for you. 205-542-3531. 542-3531. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Insurance companies trust him. That helps you in the long run with claims and everything. Locally owned, local crews, storm damage, new roofs, any repair, he'll do it. Storm Restoration Roofing, 205-542-3531, or Greg from Pell City on Facebook. By the way, first time I've ever had to get a crack on the windshield replaced yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
First time ever?
First time ever.
That's a good run.
Yeah, that really
You've been
is.
driving a long time.
But have you ever gotten it so bad that it cracks and you got to get the entire?
Well, this is they to not replace the window. It was very small little. And they did the filler. But as I leave there now, I see it starting to splinter out a little bit.
What did they tell you that was a possibility?
Oh yeah. You actually signed a release.
Yeah.
They'll try to do it with this way, but if it starts to splinter out, you may have to replace the entire windshield.
Did they give you a good deal on replacing the windshield now?
Oh, I know. I have to do a whole different claim with my insurance. That was free yesterday. No problem. No deductible. Next deductible is $100, but the replacing of the windshield and an Alfa Romeo can get.
I know because of the sensors, but let me ask you this, conspiracy theory back to that. Is there any way that they chip a little too hard knowing it's going to expand, then insurance doubles back to them and they get to replace an entire windshield?
No, the insurance company would balk at that, my friend.
What if they're in on it?
They would not be in on it. So it's not going to cost any different for me. I got good insurance. Ashley, if you lived in South Carolina, it'd be an every 6 months occurrence. I literally know the Safe Light dude by name right now.
Tony's back.
It is amazing. Safe Light had to come to my house and how detailed that is. Yeah. And they have to drive it around. They have to do a lot of different things because of the sensors.
Well, what is crazy is that one guy was in front of me who had a new Bronco. He had just replaced a windshield there with him the week before, and he's already back. He caught another one. Mm. And I thought it comes in triplicates sometimes.
Tough roads you're out there on. Terrion Arnold is with us now, the newest Detroit Lion with us. On the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. What is up, Terrion? How are you?
What's up, y'all? Long time no see.
I know. It's good to see you again. We are thrilled that you got drafted by the Lions. Everybody up here was pulling for it. I talked to you yesterday, and I said, obviously, I wanted you to go as early as possible. But when the Lions picked you, for you to get that moment on the stage with those Detroit fans was incredible to watch. I can only imagine how great it was for you.
It was amazing. I mean, all my teammates from Alabama, they were like, Terrion would be the one to get drafted where the draft is at.
Yeah.
I mean, how much conversation did you have with Brad Holmes and with Dan Campbell and with that organization?
I went on a visit there, and honestly, they told me, they said, you're one of those guys we have to trade up to get, but our paths may cross, and we don't think we'll be able to get you. And my agent, Nicole, she did a very great job of just she actually texted me that following morning and said, hey, it's a heavy O-line, receiver, quarterback, heavy offensive draft class, man. Y'all might have a chance. And then just from going back and talking to them, they knew that the Raiders it was a possibility that they took me. And actually, the Raiders coach, they called me after the draft. And they were like, we actually had a coin toss between you and Brock Bowers and landed on him. I was like, oh, wow. And then after the Raiders passed, they said, okay, we got to get up there before Jacksonville. So actually, Brad, he was like, they were trying to trade all the way up to 15, 16 to get me. So it's just one of those things where you go where you're wanted. And that right there, man, that fit. And as far as how the fans are, schemes that they run, and just even being around guys like J-Mo, Jameer, especially Brian, like, man, it was a dream come true for me.
Yeah, a lot of Alabama fans are buying Detroit Lions gear because it's Alabama North right now up there. 500,000 people, a little over 500,000 people are out there. I would imagine when you were looking out at the draft, you couldn't see the end of humanity. It was people as far as you could see. Could you just take me back to that moment? You're so great with words, and just share with me the love and the vibe you were feeling when you looked out over 500,000 people.
With me, I got away with words, and I always know the right thing to say. But my uncle, he said that was the first time in my life he had ever seen me speechless. Like, when I grabbed the mic, I was like, I'm home. But it was one of those things where you could almost feel like the energy, almost like being in Brian Denny when they started singing Dixieland Delight. Like, you just feel it in your spirit. And when they started chanting my name, I was like, wow, that's what literally made me say I'm home, because it was like, wow, like, you hear all those people chanting your name. And then, after the draft, after I got selected, I was able to walk down. You had to take your picture, obviously. And after that, I went down to the crowd. So when I go down there, it's me and J Mill. So me and J Mill, I got the chance to spend a moment with my best friend, and just being around him. As I was shaking the people's hands, one of them, the people, they were like, man, let him crowd surf. Let him crowd surf. I look at the security dude. I was like, hey, man, let me crowd surf. He says, nah, you can't go past the gate. I say, why, man? These are my people. He said, nah, if you go past this gate, I don't think you're going to come back alive.
It's so good. Terrion Arnold with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. What has been the most meaningful person to reach out to you after being drafted to congratulate you?
Probably Barry Sanders.
Wow. That is Lions royalty. Barry Sanders called you, huh?
Yeah. He at first he texted me on Twitter. He was like, he was at the draft.
Yeah.
So when he was at the draft, he's just walking by, and my family was like, man, that's Barry Sanders. I was like, oh man, yeah, that is Barry Sanders. Pretty cool. And my aunt was like, you should get a picture with him. I was like, I don't know why I need to get a picture with him. Looking back at it, I should have got a picture with him.
Oh, you'll get your chance.
Yes.
You'll get your chance.
Yeah. How much have you seen the city, and when do you start looking for a place to live?
When I go back, see, right now I'm back at home training and stuff. But when rookie minicamp starts, you go up there, and you kind of just get recommendations from certain people. Like, I know certain areas where I should be, where I shouldn't be, and different things like that. But you kind of let your people deal with that. Like, my biggest thing is I'm ready to establish myself. Like, my goal is win a Super Bowl. Like, getting there, it's almost like I told them it was the best thing as far as coming to Alabama, because they're right on the verge and they demand excellence. And, they're trying to get over that hump. And then with them even having the knock as far as, man, their secondary wasn't that good, or their secondary this and that. It's the same thing when I came in Alabama. It was like, okay, Kool-Aid and our freshman year, we were knocked by how bad our secondary was. And then our sophomore year, we were really knocked, especially when Jalen Hyatt went off against Tennessee. So coming in, me and Kool-Aid, our mindset was junior year, we ain't going for none of that. Forming the best cornerback tandem in college football. So with that being said, just going in there, like, that's where my focus has been. And then back to what you said, as far as talking to Barry, he was like, man, that's one thing Detroit has never had, a Super Bowl. So, just you coming in ready to work. And then he said, everybody has been saying it lately, but I don't really see it. Like, he's like, man, you just remind me of Deion Sanders. Like, not only are you electric on the field, but your personality off the field, just how it carries and you impact people. And he was like, where do you get that from? I was like, Barry, I'm gonna just be real with you, man. I just be myself. That's all I do.
I know you guys know this because you're great football fans, but so you'll be working every Thanksgiving the rest of your professional career. You're playing on Thanksgiving morning, on Thanksgiving Day. Do you guys have a plan yet? Will you have Thanksgiving after your game and gather around the Arnold family table, or will you do it on Friday? How will you attack Thanksgiving? I'm always fascinated about Lions players because they know they're playing at that early game every Thanksgiving Day. Have you guys talked about it yet on how you're going to handle Thanksgiving?
Oh, we're going up that night.
Yeah, that's the night.
After that game, I go out and hopefully I catch a pick. Hey, if I catch a pick, make sure y'all rewind it. Hopefully I catch a pick. We're going up that night. And the game ball going to be right there, man. We don't need the turkey. That ball, that pig skin.
I mean, but you are joining the Lions. I would say Rockstar is a lifelong Lions fan. This is the greatest moment in Lions history.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you are joining them at the peak of their franchise. That's what's incredible about this.
Oh, man. And then I'm coming in there to make a difference. I just told them from the jump, I want to be one of those guys that's a fan favorite. Like I said when I was there, I said, Detroit, y'all got to start. Hopefully, in my career in Detroit, I mean, you never know what can happen. But I think just as far as in my spirit, as far as the fit, the fans, it's almost like Alabama without an expiration date. Obviously, in college, you had a time where you had to leave up there. And I ain't got no expiration date. When I'm done with it, I'm done with it. And I don't think I'll be done with it for a long time.
I don't know how much NFL you watched in the past, but you've got a head coach in Dan Campbell that talked about eating people's kneecaps. How much interaction have you had with Dan Campbell?
When I first saw him at the combine, he was sitting down. So I walk in the room and he stood up. I was like, oh, shoot. God. I thought he was like the strength and conditioning coach or something like that.
Dude had a massive lipper on draft night. Like when they're drafting you, they cut to the war room, and I mean, it was out to here. He's got spit cup water.
He was pumped up too, man. He was pumped up. Yeah.
Even Brad, like when he got drafted, like you would have thought they won a Super Bowl. Like that right there, I told them in my press conference, I said, man, that doesn't go forgotten. I'll never forget that. Like they traded up to get me, traded a whole third round pick. Like in the draft, that's equivalent to millions of dollars. So when I come in there, when I'm tired or I feel like I can make the next step or give it that much more, like that's what motivates you to even want to do that.
Okay, when
I
think
don't take stuff like that for lightly.
When I think of Link, I think of you and Jalen. You won't be there this year. Is there a passing of the Link torch? Have you ordained someone else to join Jalen as Link brothers this year to lead Alabama football? Have you slid somebody into your position to ride with Jay Milroe?
Jay Miller is my brother. So as far as me passing that Link torch, never. There is none of that. No, I'm still there in spirit. If we need a FaceTime or I get a team of speech before the game, we can do that. But that Link right there, oh yeah. Matter of fact, while we had 50% of Link is in Alabama, the other 50% is in Detroit. So when I drop this Link merch, they're gonna get it because in Detroit we're gonna let them naysayers know too. Ain't none of that. Ain't none of that, dog. And actually, while we at it, you know what? Look, because since you guys are my guys, and I'm real tight with Ryan, I just share some inside information that nobody knows about, and they can only see the day on your show. So Walker Hayes, country singer. We got a Link song coming out.
Okay, you said we. Are you and J Mill on it? Are you and J Mill on the song?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Walker Hayes, J Mill, and Terrion Arnold are releasing a country song.
That is amazing.
No. Look, you said it wrong. Terrion Arnold, Walker Hayes, Jalen Miro are releasing a country song.
My apologies. Okay, my apologies.
Featuring.
Yeah, they got the feature.
Terrion Arnold featuring J Mill and Walker Hayes. Got it now.
You're a Southern guy though. How bad are you going to hate the cold, man? I cannot imagine living up there. I know you guys play in a dome, which is good, but you are going to have to hit those streets sometimes.
Hey man, one thing about it, when you're a competitor and you're that dog, none of that stuff matters. I'm gonna be out there freezing. But I'm a dog, so it don't matter. Put on my little long sleeves and I'm going to go out there and go to war. Strap my helmet on, lace up my boots, look in the mirror, scream a couple times, and go out there and go do it.
But how, back to it, Walker Hayes, do you reach out to him? Do you guys have the same representation and the same firm? I mean, where's the connection?
Kind of funny. Connection actually is Krista.
Oh, Kristen Saban,
yeah.
Coach's daughter.
Yeah,
So she,
my sister, man.
I know, but so she knew Walker Hayes and she connected you guys.
Works out good. Works out good.
All right.
Yeah. So you promised me that after you start this music career, you and Milrow, that y'all will not end up like Kendrick and Drake. There'll never be a fight between you two now.
Look. As far as the feature with J Mill, he just might say a couple of words. As far as the actual song goes, it's gonna be me and Walker.
Fantastic.
So have we hit the studio yet? I mean, like, how far in the works is this thing, and when should we expect something to come out?
Hey, look, man. I already gave y'all enough gems, man. I gotta work. At the same time, I still gotta balance training camp. I gotta establish myself with my new team. But just know, before the summer over.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Well, I'm just
All
saying, you compared, or somebody compared you to Deion Sanders. This is a guy that played on an NFL Sunday and then flew a private jet and played in a World Series game the same day. So I think a lot of stuff on your plate. I think you can balance it, though.
I can.
All right, we are Lions fans because of Terrion Arnold. We love you. You know we love you, and we are so excited for you, man. We appreciate the time.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. Take care. Terrion Arnold with us. Burgeoning music career, Detroit Lions. Always fun to talk to on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
Ooh. One of a kind.
Walker Hayes, is that the Applebee's guy?
That's the Applebee's guy, yeah.
He was just at Talladega. It's not just the Applebee's song. He's got one we mentioned, Nick Saban.
Yeah, he does. So I'm sure that's the connection with Kristen. And now he's going to have another. I guess he's just going to do a bunch of Alabama stuff.
Yeah, I would just tell you this, that I
Applebee's.
wouldn't want to be Little T right now. I don't know. She usually pulls out 2 or 3 things from every interview.
A lot in there.
I mean, that was a gold mine for Little T there to pull out stuff. Jay says Walker Hayes did a Christmas version of the Applebee's song.
Oh, I bet it was better than the first.
Fancy like
Can he get better than the first round?
Fancy like what?
That's the Applebee's song. Is Fancy like.
Fancy like AA, you broke up with me, you girl, high heels.
Yeah, AA is the one where he mentioned Saban.
He needed some material. I'm glad Terrion reached out to him.
Terrion helps Walker more than he does the Lions instantly, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, that's the one of a kind, Terrion Arnold. But it was an amazing moment when you got 500,000 people. What was that first? It was 600,000.
No, it was over 700.
Yeah.
Well, maybe the first night.
Yeah, the first night was, I think 300,000-400,000 people. That's a ton of people, man.
So 500,000 people, and he looked out. And you're standing there, and they're chanting your name, and he drops, "I'm home." And that gave me chills when I was watching that.
I wanted Terrion to go like 10th, 11th pick. If the Raiders really did a coin flip for him and Brock Bowers, that's pretty remarkable. I don't know if that was just a figure of speech.
Never heard that before.
I haven't
that
either.
Is interesting.
Yeah.
I wish I wish it would have landed for the Raiders. I wish he would have gone there because then Bowers maybe falls a little bit further.
Well, you know how I feel. I feel like the Raiders made the wrong choice.
Yes, you'd have gone Terrion there. Yeah. But we were all disappointed, and we mentioned it the day after the draft in our group text. Everybody was wanting Terrion to go. We love that guy. He has been so good to us. But I was glad he fell to the Lions. If he was going to fall, to get that moment in his life. And what a great time to be a Lion. That city will embrace him. I mean, he could be, look, they got some stars on that team, some potential stars. But with his personality and his level of play, he could be an absolute Detroit. I mean, he could be an icon in the city of Detroit.
Before we jump on and get JD's call, before we get to trash, I will tell you our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama here to help you out. Men, it's so important to stay on top of your health as you get older, into your 30s, into your 40s, into your 50s, and so on. Urology Centers of Alabama is there for you. They've got 16 locations around the great state of Alabama, and the folks at Urology Centers of Alabama can help you out. 35 urologists, 16 locations. It's our friends at UCA. UrologyCentersAlabama.com. All right, let's go to JD in Huntsville. He's next with us. Hey, JD, what's up, man?
Hey, guys. I want to ask you guys a question about the Alabama effect and how people think about Alabama. I was looking at Joel Klatt's top 25, and he's got Ohio State 1, Georgia 2, Texas 3. He's got Ole Miss 5, and Utah ahead of Alabama.
Yeah, Oregon 4, 6. I think.
Yeah, Oregon 4, yeah. So how long will it take? Well, first of all, when did Alabama get the effect? Because I think it was when they beat Florida in 2009 for the SEC championship. That changed what people thought about Alabama in terms of, hey, they are turning into this elite program. And Florida, quickly slid down. Would y'all agree on that?
Yeah. Florida was the top program in the conference, and they quickly, quickly is a good word on that.
Yeah, I think the next year, JD, I was thinking it was 3 or 4 losses.
Yeah,
but it was a pigskin kickoff win over Clemson, and then the blackout win over Georgia, and then they lost to Florida the SEC championship. But then the next year, when they revenged that and beat Tebow, and went on to win the national championship. Yeah.
And Florida hasn't been particularly close since, really. I mean, that was the last time Florida was really in the national championship discussion, was that 09 game.
But 08 was when they started to get respect.
From that point on, Alabama, what people thought about Alabama was that they are the program to beat, they're the program to hate. Even in the media, people are biased by who they like, who they don't like. What will it take Kalen DeBoer to do to create the new Alabama effect? Because I'm afraid that people have just decided, well, no Nick Saban, Alabama's just – and even Clay said this, I think, a couple of weeks ago.
I would say if you beat Georgia in that game in Tuscaloosa early in the season, that would be a wake-up call.
It would be, but I think, JD, to what you're talking about, the Alabama effect, he's going to have to win a national championship with a roster fully assembled by his staff. So if they happen to win the national championship this year, a lot of people are going to say, well, he's still doing it with Saban's players. I mean, great job by Kalen DeBoer, but can he continue this when the Saban players cycle out? So if he continues to recruit and wins one with, quote-unquote, his players.
I do think it's a little different. I mean, you look at that schedule. The schedules are so difficult moving forward. And I think DeBoer, some people will say, people that aren't Alabama fans, this is Larry Coker all over again with Miami inheriting those players. But Kalen DeBoer is a guy that just played with less talent for a national championship with Washington. So I think if he comes in and he wins a national championship in the next couple of years, watch out.
Well, what will it take in terms of what people think about other teams? Because really, you look at it, if you beat Alabama, suddenly you are elevated higher to what than people think differently about you. Even LSU coming into this year is still getting credit off beating Alabama 2 years ago in overtime. Texas, the same thing. Tennessee, the same thing. What will it take? I mean, how long will that last? If teams beat Alabama, it won't seem like a big deal anymore, I guess.
No, it will for a while. It's a topic I have for later in the summer. One of those that I'll get to eventually, but you bring it up, so I'll just give you a USA Today version. Kalen DeBoer has got to deal with wearing the target that Nick Saban, sewn on the Alabama jersey for the last 17 years. Kalen DeBoer has got to take those punches, because it is such a big game when Alabama rolls in right now, even with Saban gone. They will get everybody. It'll be a huge game when they go to Wisconsin. It'll be still big games at Tennessee this year and all that. That's not going away. Kalen DeBoer he's got to wear that target, and that will make his job even that more difficult.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bigger deal if Alabama loses in the regular season than Texas losing in the regular season.
So you don't think that guys like Hugh Freeze will get an automatic extension like
like Jimbo did. He rode that, beating Saban that one time.
Yeah.
Heupel did.
I'm sure Hugh did back in Ole Miss. I don't remember.
I don't
sure
know.
He did.
Yeah.
That's what made me think about this. When you said greats at the golf tournament like Hugh Freeze, I thought Hugh Freeze is only great because he beat Saban 2 years in a row. That's it.
Thank you, JD.
Yeah.
You're just reading the copy, right?
Yeah, I believe that was in the copy.
Our friends at Johnston RV, before we get to trash coming up in the next segment, tell us about Johnston RV.
I-65 exit 304 in Coleman. 334 in Decatur is where you find our guys Nick Johnston and the crew at Johnston RV Center. They have repriced both of those lots. They've got the best prices anywhere. They're so confident in that. They'll beat any price on a comparable RV nationwide. You bring them that price, they will beat it. Also, members of the military, they love you the way we love you on this show. You are what makes America the greatest universe in the world. Retired military, active duty military, you get a great discount there at Johnston RV. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
All right, and as we get ready for another great night of NBA playoffs and Stanley Cup playoffs, you can get a little to-go order from our friends at Champy's Chicken. They bring you this hour of the show every day. Sterling and the crew are right there on Highway 119 in Alabaster. You can go by and see them. They've been open now for about 25 minutes serving lunch. Talk all the time about the hand-cut chicken fingers and the deep-fried chicken cooked to order. But the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales are so good. Appetizers, entree, take them at home as a snack. It is fantastic. Got a little spice to them. You will love them. It's Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Back in a moment.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Fire damage to your home or business is something you never want to consider. Ryan Brown here from The Next Round. But in the horrible event it happens, Dry Tech is here to help. They respond quickly and will reply to you within 20 minutes when you call 205-637-0143. They're working for you, the customer, not the insurance company. They've got 5 crews ready to go 24/7. Don't call the insurance company first. Call Dry Tech. Just remember this website, mydrytech.com. That is mydrytech.com.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst coming up May 12th through the 14th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. Free public admission. It's Bama's biggest in-water boat show. Over 100 boats and vehicles on display. Vendors, food trucks, live music all weekend long. Fireworks show on Friday night. How about this? Free Velcro Pygmies concert coming up on Saturday. Mother's Day is Sunday. They're going to take care of mom with free mimosas all day on Sunday. For more information for this incredible event, go online, LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Birmingham, your Stallions take on former Crimson Tide quarterback A.J. McCarron and the St. Louis Battlehawks on Saturday, May 11th at 3 p.m. It's Braves Day. You get to meet Braves mascot Blooper and get a free custom baseball card. Enjoy the Fan Fest, on-field opportunities for the kids, and elite professional football. Tickets start at just $10. Buy yours today at theufl.com. With only 3 home games left this season, don't miss the chance to cheer on the unbeaten Stallions. Let's pack protective.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemphill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention The Next Round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemphill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemphill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on The Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at The Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Yeah. It sounds like the beginning of True Detective, season 4.
Yeah, we got a dog situation, Rocky, at the house.
Stunning
development. Dog situation.
Yeah, Chili went off on something, and yeah.
On something.
Oh, another dog.
Yeah, this is one of those you don't want to get the news out if somebody might be listening, and it gets back to somebody. Yeah.
Not a human.
It's like Larry David. Did you keep playing golf?
There's no chance she's listening, by the way.
I don't think so, but boy, there would be a panic.
I mean, she asked me in Talladega.
What do y'all do?
She needed a cup of coffee. And I said, I'll find you a cup of coffee. And, I mean, it was 2 in the afternoon, but I'll find you a cup of coffee. One of these campers have a cup of coffee. And I was like, you want sugar or cream with that? She goes, oat milk.
Yeah, oat milk.
At Talladega.
And they were like, oatmeal? Yeah. And they were like, no, oat milk.
Oat milk.
Like, you weren't going to find oatmeal at Talladega. You sure aren't going to find oat milk.
You saw a not Chill It or Bully this weekend?
No, I did. Like I heard them.
Yeah, okay.
I heard the rustling.
But the other, yeah.
I never saw the other.
Okay.
I heard the other.
Well, somebody did.
Jack was in charge of that.
I'll come show you a picture.
Oh, no. Of the damage?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Aftermath is what we would call it.
sometimes Rockstar, your body looks like this, and then you may be missing a piece at some point.
Chili's what we call aggressive. I'm the third home for Chili.
She's a consumer.
she is.
Yeah, cushions usually.
Super sweet dog. She's just going through her teenage years, and
that's right. She'll grow out of it.
Yeah, she'll get there.
You keep saying super sweet dog.
I mean,
super sweet to you.
That's an overt exaggeration, but she needs love too.
So if I was over at your house and she was downstairs and I started punching you, think she'd eat me up?
There's a good chance because Bullet got attacked in the dog park over by your house, and she put the dog down and had mouth around the trachea. And I mean, Vizslas are by nature really, really good dogs. But the problem is not a problem. But like our friend Jim at the New York Butcher Shop, he's got these big butcher bones. Cut them in half, and then we give the dogs one of those, and they'll chew on them for like 2 hours, just all the flesh and stuff.
Yeah.
So if you try to get Chili's bone, me
Game
or
over.
you or anyone, yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah. Our friends at Way to Wellness will take care of problems with your weight gain or maybe blood pressure or cholesterol. They will sit there and get to a plan for you that will help you lose weight or control some vital numbers when it comes to your health. This is video of Leslie and her board-certified team talking to our team down here at Way to Wellness. All you have to do is get that free consultation is go to their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. And you'll find out that there's no contracts, there's no sign-up fees. And as I said, that first consultation is free. Lunsford and Melton are in the middle of their program. They're enjoying it so much, and it's helping them. I've been doing it for years. I'm in the maintenance part of the program now. They changed my cholesterol and blood pressure numbers for the better, literally saved my life. Find out what they can do for you. Go to their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. All right. We're about to get to trash. You know how we just had Terrion Arnold on. If you missed Terrion, maybe you're jumping in because you've seen it on social media now. You can get that wherever you get our podcasts, always at the YouTube channel at Next Round Live, also at Next Round Live on all social media platforms. Taylor's sending out some highlights from that. And audio-wise at Spotify and Apple, where you get the podcast. It's up for you there. Terrion Arnold here on the Next Round today. In the NFL, he talked about dropping because it was such a wide receiver, quarterback, offensive line heavy top of the first round draft. Matt Miller, who covers the draft and talent, says 2025's NFL draft will be just the opposite. As heavy as it was offensively this year, he says next year's it will be defensively. That it'll be a defensive heavy draft.
Well, it feels like you're almost always going to have 2 or 3 quarterbacks go in the top 10, just regardless of if it's a good offensive draft, good defensive draft, good quarterback draft.
Good quarterbacks or not.
Yeah, I mean, that's where they go, right? But I mean, I guess that makes sense, right? If you've drafted that much offensive talent, there's still going to be some good defensive talent there, I would think.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to say. I mean, look, this is just rolling the dice. I mean, who would have thought that, Bo Nix and Penix Jr. both would have been in the top 12? Who would have thought that Terrion Arnold would be in the top 25?
Yeah, at the start of the season, to your point. Yeah, you never
you just don't know how this thing's going to shake out. But cornerbacks did drop. I mean, Quinyon Mitchell, who was viewed as the best cornerback in the draft out of Toledo, dropped all the way to 22nd to the Eagles. And then Cooper DeJean dropped out of the first round. So cornerbacks, for whatever reason, pushed back.
Yeah, and his projections are defense heavy in the first round next year. You'll still get a lot of offensive players, just like you got some defensive players this year. It is trash time. It's brought to you by Mortgage Right. Rockstar starts us off with the big button.
Father of 2, Dale Decker, suffers from a rare and seemingly incurable condition that leads to him suffering up to 100 unwanted orgasms a day.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
If you're looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right are here to help. Whether you're a first-time buyer or a seasoned home buying veteran, their great service and low rates make the process easy. And speaking of veterans, they are veteran-founded right here in Birmingham. So remember, whether you're looking for your final home or your first home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing, Mortgage Right, one-stop shop for mortgages. Visit them online, mortgageright.com. Call that Birmingham office on Highway 280, 205-900-7200. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
Maggie had me watch a show starting, it's a comedy, British comedy called Extraordinary. where everybody on Earth in this show has a superpower, except this main character, one girl who hasn't found her superpower yet.
Is she searching for it?
She is, but it comes to you at different times. Like this one guy's superpower is just by touching you, you have an orgasm.
I think I know that guy.
Sounds like some deep writing, man.
Well, some people can fly, some people can make fire come out of their hands, super strength. Everybody's got a superpower, except this one girl. But he gets asked, "Well, when did you find out your superpower?" Unfortunately, it was at a piano recital. My dad had never told me anything nice. We were estranged, and he came and watched this piano recital. And afterwards, he walked up and told me, "Good job." And I went to shake his hands, and in front of hundreds of people.
Wow.
Well, so has he never shook into anybody's hand before?
Where do you watch this?
I think it was on Hulu.
Okay.
Brazzers.
But then he was like, I didn't know I had that superpower. And then all of a sudden, I thought he's having a heart attack.
That's extraordinary.
He's laying on the ground, and I start giving him chest compressions at that point, trying to save his life.
My God, stop touching him.
So would you?
So that reminded me of the Trash Open.
Was it a dumb show, or did you like it?
Maggie listens to Trash every day, so we'll probably watch it again.
Well, I mean, it doesn't mean she's watching it. She could have watched one episode and be like, "Hey, this guy touches somebody, makes him nut. I'm out."
Yeah, she's watched the entire two seasons. That's a very brief moment. It's usually about the girl in search of her superpower.
I hope she finds it. Do you want to guess? Like, do you have is there?
You can't find it, then you're off the island at that point. It's like Gilligan's Island never gets off the island,
Money mystery in Marysville, Ohio, has police trying to figure out where nearly $40,000 came from. Now, I know Brown's stance on this, but more than $25,000 was found in the restroom at the Avalon Theater on Saturday night.
Leave it.
Then more than $12,000 was found in the restroom at a KFC restaurant on Delaware Ave.
Leave it. They're leaving it in restrooms for a reason. The cartel knows where the money was hidden.
Investigators say they're pretty sure the discoveries are related. Still don't know where the cash came from.
They're pretty sure they're related.
Yeah. It's Marysville, Ohio, by the way.
$40,000 in 2 different bathrooms. Yeah, this might be related.
My question is, does a local high school have a 5-star recruit?
Somebody's extraordinary from Dunaway's and shits $100 bills.
That'd be pretty neat.
That would be extraordinary.
Come on, man. Dunaway, eat. Come on.
Now, the bills found were in multiple denominations, like 5s, 10s, even $100 bills. Police are urging anyone who might find other cash dumps to contact them. I mean, I wouldn't even call the cops, right?
Nope.
Either I'm keeping or I'm leaving.
You leave my rule where you leave it and pretend like you never saw it.
Since we're sharing dreams, my dream last night, I don't know how I came into the money, but I was gifting everyone up here, everyone except Lunsford for some reason. I don't know why.
Wow. Holy crap.
Lunsford, I don't know why, but it was everybody but Lunsford.
Why am I not surprised?
How much did everybody get except for Lunsford?
It was $100. You each got $100,000 cash. And I said, don't report it. I'm not reporting it. It's 100. I mean, don't, for tax purposes.
You know who's going to report it?
Yeah, Lunsford. But I was giving everybody cash so that there'd be no traces of it. I don't know how I came into it. I assume I won the lottery or something like that.
I know he gives you shit for bringing up the same story, but I think he has painted this picture like 3 or 4 times, and I wonder if he's spraying the board just in case somebody up here has a big windfall and you want to be included.
No.
Except apparently Lunsford.
Not me.
Who's already got the money, probably.
Lance here's $1 million. Brown here's $1 million.
Thank
Jim.
you, Lance.
For some reason, we got a surplus.
But it really
Jim, kiss my house.
No, then we cut up Jim's board, right?
Here's what was going on. I had $1 million cash to hand out, and then for some reason I was like, I need to give 100,000 to everybody up here.
Easy math, yeah.
Somebody had to be out. But now that I think about it, I'm out because I already have the money.
Yeah. So 1,000,000%.
Right.
Yeah.
Dunaway would be the guy. If he wins the lottery, he is broke.
Yeah, because Dunaway gives it away to everybody. He's like, didn't leave any for myself.
Hey, John, can you help me out?
That is
a great point. Because the math does work out without counting myself. I could give it to everyone.
You know who finally?
Everyone except me.
Yeah.
You'd be in their tight circle finally.
Who?
Father-in-law.
No.
Yeah,
what's our next story?
For the record, my stance on this is if you find money, large sums of money out in the wild, leave it alone. It's drug cartel. Just assume it's drug cartel money. Walk away.
Yeah, I've never seen a positive story about. Well, I guess you wouldn't. They'd be anonymous. So I'm sure it's happened.
Your youngest daughter's still too young to. But have you given your older daughter that advice?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, I've talked about the movie idea.
Yeah.
With her.
Yeah, I mean,
where I'm at a drive-through window and they accidentally hand me a bag of cash because the car behind me is the cartel car and they were supposed to get the bag of cash. That's their way of laundering the money.
I think the better lesson is tell daughter to leave. Come tell me where the money is, and then I make a decision.
Do not get involved. That's the one thing you don't want to do is get involved.
Don't call police either.
Just walk away.
Just walk away.
The cartel's probably watching.
2 South Florida teens accused of trashing the ocean have turned themselves into authorities are facing felony charges that don't get this story at all. But the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission on Friday afternoon confirmed 15-year-old Charles Ruth and 16-year-old Michael Kirby surrendered to detention center in West Palm Beach to face consequences for the actions that they were captured for on video that went viral. Now, the teens are facing charges of causing pollution so as to harm or injure human health or welfare, animal, plant, aquatic life, third-degree felony. Basically, they were caught dumping 2 garbage bins full of trash into the waters of the Atlantic Ocean as they were leaving an event on the water called Boca Bash.
There should be consequences.
Yeah, massive garbage cans, not like just like a bag of food, like 2 huge garbage cans.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you've got 3 motors. The amount of money you're spending on gas, you've got enough money to dispose of your garbage properly, dude.
Yeah, there should be consequences to this. I don't know that they need to do jail time.
Take away their boat. That'll send a lesson.
Yeah, I don't know that you can do that.
Oh, yeah, you can.
I think it's Dad's boat, probably.
I don't think you can seize their boat.
Yeah.
We seize drug cars and
That's
houses
a
all
little
the
different
time.
than dumping.
Now, this
trash in
is,
the
believe it or
ocean.
not, a felony. Third-degree felony. Teens facing could lead up to a fine of $50,000, sentence up to 5 years in jail. Unfortunately, that boat, a lot of money, so probably Dad's going to have to pay for somebody to get out of this.
Yeah, probably right. Dad's bailing out.
Yeah.
All right, Dad's probably done a lot of that. That's why we're dumping stuff in the ocean.
Can't wait to see this picture. Photographer behind the world's most viewed picture was on his way to visit his now wife when he snapped the iconic image. I didn't know we had a most viewed picture.
Before I show it, what do you think it is?
Okay, you go.
It's not. The most viewed picture of all time.
I mean, technically, I know this is not the one you've got here. I would have guessed the raising of the flag at Iwo Jima.
I would have said Iwo Jima or Ali over Frazier.
Yeah, that one too.
That's a good one. I'm going to say it is Tour de France riding through the Eiffel Tower.
I just don't know we got it right. No.
That's the most viewed photo of all time?
Yeah.
What a boring culture we
Damn, I
live
can go
in.
take that off at 280.
Yeah, I mean, what the crap is that?
I mean,
is
is that
Microsoft
just
Windows background?
Okay, that's what I was going to say. Is it some
Everybody sees it
background?
every day, and it's an actual picture. It's not edited or
Never
anything.
noticed.
Did he sell it to Microsoft or something? I don't know.
So rather than
I hope
spending
so.
days, weeks, or even years trying to snap the perfect frame, Chuck O'Rear just happened to be at the right place at the right time. That was like a normal picture to
I
me.
love how you said you can take a picture of that in 280. Where the hell?
We'll find
We just
it.
moved World Superior
I'll find a grassy lot somewhere.
It's got to be down in Kellyton somewhere.
January of 1996, O'Rear was driving from his home in California when he spotted the scene he had to capture. O'Rear told People magazine, quote, "Always carry a camera because you never know. And on this day, the instinct paid off in a really big way. Used to pull over often to take photos. I think the scenery there was just so beautiful." He said on this particular day while driving, he said it was a winding country road. I thought, my God, the grass is perfect. It's green. The sun's out. There's some clouds. So I got my camera ready. Here come the clouds. I make a frame. I crank the next one. And it takes what he calls the image of bliss.
Okay.
And I mean, it's a nice picture.
Yeah.
But like if you were flipping through like old school pictures and you saw that, would you stop and be like, my God.
Not at all. That's pretty.
For instance, where were we walking the other day when I started porting out the 3D clouds? We were walking to dinner. Were you with us then, or was it just me?
I don't remember this
I
conversation.
don't remember.
Yeah.
But there was on the beach, there were much better images than that.
Yeah, but I was like, oh, look how the clouds are 3D.
Oh.
They were a certain, the sun was hitting them just right.
Yeah.
They were purple majesty. It was just all the goodness.
Better picture, Paul Janeway under the stage or under the drummer kit.
I know. I had him. Rockstar literally sang a song, crawled under the drum kit.
Does he not give his all? I mean,
He
is that
gives
like-
100%. He gives his all. Yeah. By the way, Flags of Our Fathers is a book about the photo on Iwo Jima. They made a movie out of it. I never saw the movie. The book is terrific.
Okay, so I saw the other part. So Eastwood did both, Flags of the Father and Letters from Iwo Jima. I
Yeah.
saw Letters from Iwo Jima. It's all subtitled, but it is unbelievable.
Flags of Our Fathers, the whole photo, the guy didn't even know he had really made the photo. And it becomes one of the most iconic photos of all time. He had no
It's a good
idea
one.
he even had the photo until he sent it off, and some developer in New York was like, oh my God, look at this photo.
Conspiracy theory is that it was a much smaller flagpole.
No, it's not a conspiracy at all. That's the actual thing.
And they end up redoing it, right?
Yeah. I don't think it's staged. What happened was they had put the flag. They had taken the island and put the flag up already. And one of the admirals out on the boat in the ocean is like, "That's too small of a flag. Go put another one up." So they go. That's the second raising of
Tom
the
got to
flag.
retake the picture.
No. That's the second raising of the flag. And what everybody in America thought was that was right in the middle of the war. Like, by God, we've got this ground and we're putting up Old Glory. And that's
Right.
what everybody in America thought.
Right.
So there was a misunderstanding about what the picture actually even was.
It was good for recruiting, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely it was.
I think you're the only one that likes Friends on the panel, but the finale of
like
Friends.
Friends.
No, I love Friends.
About to turn 20 years old. Last episode of the TV series ended May 6, 2004, and had over 50 million viewers.
Can tell you where I was that night. We had a big final episode party down at the
Bottle Tree.
Used to host weddings, a warehouse down on
B&A.
B&A warehouse.
So were you married to Maggie then?
2004 I was, yes. And I was at NBC 13. And I got a big 75th anniversary coming up at NBC 13.
The problem is now that Matthew Perry has died, they're trying to decide how to best celebrate the end of the iconic season. A source is telling Us Weekly, former co-stars are figuring out how to appropriately mark the upcoming 20th anniversary. They posted on social media, Jennifer Aniston, Courtney Cox, Lisa Kudrow, Matt LeBlanc, and David Swimmer. Quote, they will most certainly be commemorating it somehow, just trying to figure out the right way to do it.
I would recreate that photo and just leave a space for him.
Yeah, between Lisa Kudrow and Courtney Cox.
Or like a band, you could just find a new Matthew Perry.
I know he made...
I don't think that would celebrate him too much.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder who finished second to him in that role. I've read that somewhere, and I can't remember who it was. It was a name actor that...
Jason Bateman.
No, it might have been. It was a name actor that read for that role, and Matthew Perry read for another one, and they put him in the role of Chandler. They liked him more for Chandler.
Finally, some interesting tidbits, and these are interesting. 2001, I don't remember hearing about this, but a 13-year-old Boy Scout, Cody Clausen, went missing for over 18 hours near Yellowstone Park. Clausen resorted to using his belt buckle to signal planes overhead. Eventually got a pilot's attention who rescued him. Guess who the pilot was?
Sully.
Chuck Yeager.
Harrison Ford.
Really?
Wow.
How about that? Rescued by Harrison Ford. Sounds like a movie.
Was Harrison rescuing him, or was Harrison crashing and just happened to be near him?
He can't really land. I'm good at flying, not good at landing.
Really the key, though.
2015, a woman's parachute failed to deploy while skydiving. She survived with life-threatening injuries. Day before, she survived a mysterious gas leak at her house. Both later to be intentional murder plots by her ex-husband.
Her old man was trying to kill her with a gas thing.
Boy, how bad does he suck?
Man.
He ain't a good closer,
Are
is
you
he?
doing okay with that gas leak? I think I'm okay. Hey, let's jump out of. Let you jump out of a plane tomorrow.
Here, wear this
No,
parachute.
you go first.
Yeah.
You go first. Muhammad Ali, star of the Hollywood Walk of Fame, is on a wall instead of the ground. That's because Ali, devout Muslim, did not want people stepping on the name Muhammad.
Interesting.
This next one makes a lot of sense. Weather forecasters tend to exaggerate the chance of rain because if it rains when they said it wouldn't, people will get angry. But if it doesn't rain when they said it would, they are happy. This is known as the wet bias.
So
see that.
We've discussed this on the show when the weather guy or girl says 60% chance of rain.
6% chance you'll see rain today.
Yeah, but some
In your
say
day.
what they mean is 60% of
The
this
area,
area
yeah.
will actually get rain.
No, I don't think that's true.
No, that's what it is.
I think
See.
I think I was told one time by somebody it means there's a 60% chance you'll see rain.
In that area.
But how do they know where I am?
How they know where I am?
Yeah, I know.
Two more
60,
interesting.
so that they don't know where you are. So, like, if they say 60% chance of rain in this area, that means 60% of this area is going to get
I
rain.
agree with Lunsford. 60% of the area will
Yeah,
get rain.
I think that's what they mean by that.
So you're saying 60% of the area will get covered by rain.
Yeah.
So if it's like Birmingham, there's a 60% chance in Birmingham it's going to rain. 60% of Birmingham will get rain.
But again, I
don't
think
you're right, but
they tend to. I think they tend to lean more that it's going to rain.
Yeah. Well, see, I get really more mad the other way because if I change my golf plans because it's saying it's going to rain and then it's sunny all afternoon, then I'm more mad.
Yeah, but it's not like you're stuck doing something you can take right off to the golf course.
But I mean, Dunaway,
book tee times and stuff.
You've done this with me. I don't cancel the golf until I see on the radar the line of rain is absolutely not going to miss us. That's the only time I'll cancel.
Two more real quick. Temperature on the moon at the Apollo 11 landing site was 200 degrees Fahrenheit. And finally, I never knew this one. This is pretty amazing. Squirrels' terminal velocity is so low, they can fall from any height and survive. I don't believe this. If we dropped a squirrel up the Empire State Building.
But they
don't all have wings, though. They're not all
wings,
wings.
but just like their weight. Their weight, like, because they're so light and stuff like that, they don't really pick up a big terminal velocity.
I know Peter would be upset.
They don't pick that much
This
speed
needs
up.
to be tried.
Yeah. Well, I don't disagree.
I see them falling off trees all the time.
Yeah, but they usually hit a couple of
panic attack.
branches. I just don't. You really think if you could drop one off an Empire State Building?
I think they can coast. I think they're able to.
Those are flying squirrels.
Yeah. I think all squirrels are flying squirrels.
I don't think any squirrel can fly. I think they can only coast.
They can coast. They don't fly.
They can't take off.
60% of it will land at least.
How many squirrels around? You see a ton of squirrels jumping branch to branch. How many have you seen floating? I mean, on National Geographic, not in Birmingham.
Normally, I see them trying to get across the street.
That is our Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Spring buying season, our friends at Mortgage Right, they're here to help. They were veteran-founded here in Birmingham, offer loans throughout the country, and while the area they serve may have grown, their commitment to Birmingham and veterans hasn't changed. Before you take the next steps on a new home purchase or refinance, talk with the team at Mortgage Right, 205-900-7200 or mortgageright.com/TNR.
And Brown, the golf cart is still a great buy. It's a limited time only, though.
It is. You can get 4 great Birmingham courses, 18 holes in cart, for one low price with our golf cart. I'm talking about the Meadows, Cross Creek, Limestone Springs, and the historic, newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. And you can get all of that right now. Nextround.store. Nextround.store. It's just $99. It's all presented by Urology Centers of Alabama. This is a value of $247 that you're getting for just $99. Also, $119 gets you that Next Round Deluxe golf cart. All 4 courses in cart, plus Next Round Golf t-shirt, koozie, golf tees, and a sticker. No restrictions. Cart is good through October 2024. Supplies are limited, so get your golf cart now. Nextround.store. Nextround.store.
Follow John Lunsford on Twitter @JLuntz.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst is back May 12th through 14th on Logan Martin Lake in Pell City. It is Bama's biggest in-water boat show with more than 100 boats and vehicles on display, vendors and food trucks, live music all weekend long, and it is free public admission. Don't forget the Friday night fireworks show, free Velcro Pygmies concert Saturday, free mimosas for Mama Mother's Day Sunday, LoganMartinLakeFest.com for more info. It's the annual Logan Martin Lake Fest and Boat Show presented by AmFirst May 12th through 14th, LoganMartinLakeFest.com.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Birmingham's favorite lawn party returns to Greystone for the Regions Tradition May 8th through 12th. Watch the legends of the game at Greystone and check out the Celebrity Pro-Am featuring Charles Barkley, Nick Saban, Kalen DeBoer, Hugh Freeze, and country superstar Riley Green. Enjoy the fun in the sun at the White Claw Watering Hole and Casamigos Club. And don't miss the food trucks and the Friday concert featuring the Black Jacket Symphony. The Regions Tradition. Buy your tickets today.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Mental Health Minute of the Day, brought to you by JohnsonRVCenter.com.
Yeah, according to Mental Health in America, men appear to suffer with mental health issues like anxiety, depression, even substance abuse at rates similar to that of women, but less than half of men are going to seek treatment. The rate suggests 1 in 10 will suffer, less than half will seek treatment. Talk to your doctor today about what depression and anxiety present look like and start the conversation. Very important. A lot of people are suffering from this. Don't be ashamed. Speak out to a friend, a sibling, a spouse, a doctor. Get in front of this as soon as helpful as available. May is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and it is brought to you by our friends at Johnston RV.
Yeah, they're right there on I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
All right, and this hour always brought to you by Champy's, right there on 119 in Alabaster. We appreciate Sterling and the crew so much. Champy's chicken for lunch, dinner, tailgating, and also for that special trip to the beach or back from the beach. It's a good, easy, off the Alabaster exit to enjoy a great lunch or dinner there, champy'schicken.com. Shohei Ohtani did it again last night. 441 feet this home run. Dodgers beat the Marlins 6-3. Bryce Harper hit a 3-run home run last night. Phillies stayed hot. They've won 6 straight, 9 of their last 10. They start the day 3 full games ahead of the Braves, who start a series tonight in Atlanta against the Boston Red Sox. Red Sox Braves, 6:20 at Truist. Another pennant Grace with Emily Grace McWarner and Ush up very soon on our platform, Disrupt the Media. They got a link there, and you can follow them on all social media right there at the pennant Grace.
I thought the Phillies would be good again this year. I didn't realize at this point they would have the best record in Major League Baseball. Back to the Dodgers real quick. Buehler getting that first start in 2 years, was afraid what velocity was going to be. Hit 98 and averaged 96 miles an hour in 4 innings. So
yeah, said he was comfortable at 94, so I guess he was comfortable at 96 and 98 too. Yeah, so it was good to have him
Wasn't great
back.
with shaky, but I think that's a positive sign.
Hey, and next week's the second major of the golfing year, the PGA Championship. This week, everyone gets a chance to get a win while Scotty Scheffler is away. He's not going to play at the Wells Fargo events while he and Meredith await the birth of their child. We were waiting on this baby back at the Masters.
Right,
that would have been way early.
Yeah, baby taking the time.
Now we're in the window, and they expect it to happen this week, and then maybe him going in to be induced at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know, but the PGA Championship next week. So it's an opportunity. I only joke, but the Wells Fargo is a big field, and it's a chance for somebody not named Scheffler to win.
Yeah, signature event, so you're gonna get some money out of that one if you can win, and a lot of other perks. But it is the last tune-up for the PGA Championship, which is next week at Valhalla. So you get a good field here. A lot of the LIV and European guys, a lot of the European guys come over and play here to go and get acclimated to the time in the United States. So you have a very good field there, obviously, with the top players in the world, other than Scotty Scheffler playing there.
Yeah, do we have a Scheffler stake bet?
Yeah, on majors.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was just confirming.
We do. I have him. I have Aaron Rodgers winning an NFL game before Scheffler wins another major.
Oh, yeah.
Scheffler's got 3 straight shots before you have to worry about anything.
Then there's a good chance that Aaron gets one, though. So you've got 3 chances, and then I've got 17 chances.
Yeah, I mean, I feel good if Scheffler doesn't get one in these next 3 that it's going to be a problem.
We appreciate Terrion Arnold being on the show with us today. And again, you can get that podcasted wherever you get podcasts, including his announcement that he is doing a song featuring also Jalen Milroe with Walker Hayes, involving Let All the Naysayers Know. So Walker Hayes, Terrion Arnold, a Terrion Arnold, Walker Hayes collaboration with a little feature from Alabama quarterback Jalen Milroe coming this summer. And you can see the entire interview on all of our platforms. Thanks for being with us today. Don't forget Uncorked. Ask us anything with Taylor Korn coming up on her platforms there. Like and subscribe. And a brand new live version of The Meltdown this afternoon at 2 Central. Also part of this platform and over on Disrupt the Media. Follow them at The Meltdown as Melton and Lunsford entertain you again this afternoon at 2 o'clock Central Time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.